What's shaking, everybody? Welcome to the Pinthouse watch along for Texas and Baylor. I'm Jeff Ketchum. That is Chad Hastings. What's shaking, Mr. Hastings?
What's up, man? Been a great day of college football so far. My Aggies actually handled their business against Auburn. The Pac-12 teams, certain Pac-12 teams are making statements, and I can't wait to see how Baylor and Texas do for the final time.
Final time that Texas and Baylor will play until presumably both teams are in the playoffs. And in a year when they would both make the playoffs, they would play each other as fate would have it, which means it might be a while, people. Thanks to everybody who's jumping into the Specs chat. We will take your super chats by all means. Super chat it up. You'll get on the screen. We'll take your question and comments. It's the best way to 100% have some participation in today's show. We are going to talk some college football as we lead in. We're about 15 minutes away, probably, and some change. Kickoff's probably closer to 6:37 than straight up at 6 o'clock. But Chad and I will take you all the way till game day. Before we tell you a little bit about Pinthouse and what they've got cooking right now, what we want to let you know about what they've got cooking right now. CJ Baxter, probably the biggest. There are two pieces of pregame newsy, notesy things that we should probably talk about early on. CJ Baxter is going to play tonight. Steve Sarkisian confirmed that on the Longhorn Network about an hour ago. So Longhorns about as healthy as they could probably be in this game. CJ Baxter back into the team, which means you'll have the two-headed monster at running back between Jonathan Brooks and CJ Baxter. What will the carry distribution look like tonight on the road 1 week after Jonathan Brooks had 100 yards? It's one of the interesting little question marks going into this game. Also, Baylor may play with its third-string quarterback. They've got both the second-string and the third-string running back or quarterbacks and running backs for that matter, warming up right now, taking reps. Sawyer Robertson looks a little gingerly on the field, but has been taking warm-ups. We'll see what happens, but there is some quarterback intrigue going into the game. We've talked all week long about how poorly Sawyer Robertson has played on the field this season, Chad. He may not be the guy that gets the call, and there's a part of me that wonders if that wouldn't be the best thing for Baylor, knowing his limitations. Sometimes the devil you don't know is better than the one that you do know.
Well, and also, I believe I'm right in saying an Austin area product might hit the field. If it can't be Sawyer Robertson, it's at least a guy that knows about scoring points. RJ Martinez, who I believe is a Westwood Warrior in high school, that dude scored lots of points. His team scored a ton in high school, so he knows about that. That would be a hell of a position to put him in. But he is a junior at Baylor. He's been there a little while, so you would assume he knows the system pretty well. So we'll see what's going on there. And the idea that maybe the running back is able to go, that could certainly change things for Baylor. Let's just see if Texas can, get out in this game early, handle their business. What you talked about this week, I think, is going to be interesting to see. Can Texas put a 2-touchdown deficit on them, make Baylor chase a little bit? Doesn't feel like the style that they're used to. We watched the number 4 team in the country today, Florida State, win by that much in overtime at Clemson. They handled their business. They got the win. I wouldn't argue it's enough to jump Texas and switch with them as long as the Longhorns handle their business. So to me, it's USC later on tonight. If they really hang a stupid number and maybe they jump from 5 up and take somebody's spot, but Florida State probably doesn't do it. Texas needs to handle their business, keep that 3 spot.
Real quick, a report from Baylor 365's Colt Barber. Baylor co-starting running back Dominic Richardson, you mentioned this, I think, just a second ago, is suited up and is expected to play. So, it had been kind of reported all week long that he was likely going to miss this game. Now it looks like he's going to play. So for Baylor, that certainly helps. They need all of the able bodies I think they can get. I don't know that it changes this game at all. We'll see. Real quick, Chad, let's tell everybody about Pinthouse, the $2 off pints, everything that they need to know about the fine sponsor of the watch along.
Yeah, you see it right there up top. Well, we wanted you to know that. And also, let's get you these codes. So there's two different things you could do here. Scan that code in the lower left portion. If you want to order, want to look at that menu and place an order to go get, whether it's today or maybe tomorrow during the NFL. That other code, the more upper right code, the Jolly Rogers loyalty program, you see it there. 10% off your next visit, $10 off your next purchase. They've got a great program going there. And then throughout the night, you're going to see that banner across the top talking about what they do for Texas games, which is you wear your Longhorn gear, you go to a Pinthouse location. Couldn't be simpler. $2 off pints as long as you're wearing your Longhorn gear during those Longhorn games. Then on Sundays, when the NFL is cranking, $4 off pitchers. And again, that's at any Pinthouse location. We'll be telling you about some other specials tonight. They've got some really cool stuff going on at the Ben White location. But shout out to Pinthouse, the incredible beers. If you see back here, I got my sign ready. I don't have a Baylor helmet because I'm just not going to buy one. But you see that can right there by the Texas helmet? That's the Yakima Sun Club. I had one of those last night. It's my new favorite Pinthouse beer. My favorite's always going to be the Jellyfish. I got the Jellyfish shirt on, but that Yakima Sun Club is great. They're doing great beers over there. If you're a beer snob like me, it is really good stuff. So shout out to Pinthouse. They've been taking care of us throughout the season. They will take care of you throughout football and any other season.
Before we get into some Big 12 scores, go around the country, maybe give some impressions on what happened around the nation. Let everybody know we're probably going to be about maybe upwards of a minute behind the live action, depending on what streaming service, cable package, satellite, whatever you have. I'm watching on YouTube TV here in my office. That was about 30 seconds behind Chad. And it was like another 15, 20 seconds behind Blake. So it's really imperative to really enjoy the watch along. Don't tell us we're behind. There's really not a lot we can do about that. I can't make YouTube TV show me the game any faster than they already are.
Now the question catch is what happens if is somebody going to jump in the chat and just like start typing touchdown, just like exclamation
Well, that happens
points?
sometimes. It's
okay.
One of the reasons why my eyes aren't completely fixated on the chat.
Right.
Because I'll watch other watch-alongs, Chad, and that will happen. You'll see in soccer, it'll be like, goal! And then it'll be like 100 people typing it.
Yeah.
But the guy that's watching the game, doesn't always see that. So I'm not too worried about that. But if you guys are like, yo, you guys are way behind, some of that is kind of intentional because it's easier for us to be you guys can't watch us if we're ahead. Like, what's the fun in that? If we're 10 seconds behind you or ahead of you, then this kind of only works if we're a little bit behind the game action. So if you're going to watch, pause your TV. We may even let you, when we get the game feed, we'll let you know like where the clock is so you can sync it. But I wanted to give you a heads up. Okay, Chad, let's go around the Big 12 a little bit before we go around the country, because there were some interesting scores and results today. Let's start with this one. Before we get to Oklahoma, we'll do them second. Okay. Kansas beats BYU today 38-27. 1 week after BYU goes on the road and beats Arkansas. Kansas with a really good running game, a really good run defense. I didn't need to look at the final score, but at one point late in the fourth quarter, BYU only had 19 yards rushing. Man, impressive performance for Kansas today to beat BYU by 11. Now at home, but Jalen Daniels threw for 3 touchdowns. Again, they ran the ball really well. Impressive performance for a 4-0 Kansas team that comes to DKR next weekend.
Yeah, it's huge. Hopefully that'll get every bit of Texas's attention once they get past Baylor. The final rushing numbers catch 221-9 in that game. They held BYU 22 carries for 9 yards. So 6 yards a carry for Kansas, 0.4. The old Derek Fisher, if I'm not mistaken, Spurs fans, I'm sorry, that's a Mavs fan being mean, but 0.4 yards per carry for BYU in the game. That was a game for me, Catch, that I saw the score. I'm watching other games. I wasn't paying attention to it. I saw BYU up at one point, kind of forgot about it. And then literally by the time I tuned back in after Bama Ole Miss was over and after the Utah game ended, I tuned back in and Kansas is closing it out. So they obviously did get physical with BYU. I think Longhorn fans deep down knew that was a game to pay attention to. The game right before OU is always a distractible type of game. But if Kansas doesn't have your attention, that is your fault. That team is really interesting, and a win like that is big.
Harry Orange Wookie for $5 says, bust out the old rabbit ears, fellas. It's still the fastest way to get it live.
That's true.
I don't even know if rabbit ears work on smart TVs.
Yeah, see,
they do.
I don't know either. And it's funny because I'm still an old man with the old man with cable, old man with a cable service. And it's funny because I've been on the phone with friends a lot of times that have satellite or that are streaming. I'm always ahead. Always. I'll scream out, "Oh, what a catch." And they're like, What? I'm in a commercial or whatever it is. So I get it. But we'll like Catch said, we'll sync up. You guys react off of us. Maybe you just watch the game, and when something happens, you just turn our sound up and go, "Oh, wonder what the guy said about that." And then you can go right to it. However you want to do it.
Yeah.
Your choice.
OU 20, Cincinnati 6. Your thoughts?
Opportunity.
You didn't see probably a lot of this game because you were watching the A&M game.
Definitely true. I was checking in on it. From what I saw, a couple things stood out. Cincinnati had opportunities to score, to add points. They got a little sloppy at times. OU's defense, bend but don't break, made big plays when they needed to. The OU offense, Catch, it's okay. It's all right. How about this? I like the elements of the OU offense. Don't love any of them. I don't love anything about that offense. And normally when OU's clicking, I hate to admit it, but I'll love something about the offense, right? I'll find a receiver and go, damn,
you did under Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, right. I'd be like, I love that dude. Oh, I love the way they do this. Like you and I talk about the Niners, as Cowboy fans. God, I hate how much I love what they're doing, even though I don't want them to. But with this offense, it's just there's some good in there. But 20-6 was an interesting score. We'll see how that Cincinnati, defense holds up throughout the year. But kind of a clunky win for me for Oklahoma. What'd you think?
I mean, OU played a little bit better team, and like it showed. Granted, they were on the road. You and I have had this OU discussion. It's not that I don't think OU is capable of beating Texas in the Cotton Bowl. Like, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying about Dylan Gabriel necessarily. But I don't view them as a scary opponent by any stretch of the imagination. And, I don't know how good they are. There's nothing impressive about the way they won that game. They won that game less impressively than Miami won the game against Cincinnati. Miami of Ohio against them a week ago. Believe me, the Tyler Van Dyke Miami Hurricanes might actually be pretty good. I don't just say that because Chad's sitting across from me right now, and his Aggies lost to those Hurricanes, but he continues to look impressive. A few other scores. TCU beats SMU 34-17. They probably needed to do that.
Yeah, that was impressive.
West Virginia beats Texas Tech 20-13. Tech throwing into the end zone almost as the clock expired. They lose their starting quarterback. Tyler Shock is carted out with an air cast on his leg. It's a season changer potentially for Texas Tech. By the way, Iowa State just intercepts Oklahoma State. That game's going to end 34-27 in favor of the Cyclones.
Can we update everybody? Did the entire Oklahoma State team quit yet? Has that happened? Has everybody
find that out in about 45 seconds?
Gotcha. So we'll find out if nobody gets on the plane if it's Mike Gundy by himself on the plane, if everybody just goes protest. Something tells me, Catch, they're going to wait to get back from Ames, Iowa. If there's any protest to be done, I bet you they wait to get back home.
When we look at this Texas schedule after watching today's games across the Big 12.
Yeah.
Kansas next week.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma the week after. TCU on the road. they feel like the big 3 games left.
And I would also
put BYU in that, but
yep, I think BYU,
maybe they're 4th.
I think BYU's in the discussion. I still wouldn't forget that other purple team as well, just depending on who's available for K-State on a given day. That team's going to come to Austin.
That's a great point. Yeah.
They're going to be ready to
included them.
They're going to be ready to play, man. Again, this conference may not be the most elite thing you think of, but you got to work every week. I don't think this conference gives you a ton. And that's why it needs to be focus in on every little detail of every little job. My pick for tonight's game is 35-17 Texas. So I believe that's still a cover because the money's all coming in on Texas. Where is it at kickoff here, Catch? Is it 17? Is it 18? I think I saw 17 earlier.
We got an updated number. Throw that in the chat. I think it is like 17.5, but I haven't, it moved up like 3 points over the course of the week.
Yeah,
I think it's probably at around 17. I have not seen 17.5. So
17 the hook, still going up. So there are a lot of people that believe Texas is going to thrash Baylor in this game. I certainly hope that's correct. But we'll just see if Texas handles the business beginning a conference. We saw a little bit of it today, Catch around the country, closer games. Familiarity, with conference opponents. Clemson stood up today and said, we're not going to be bullied out of this game. Now, they lost, but I thought Dabo's crew played a decent game. Klubnik looked all right. They didn't have enough at the end, but they certainly weren't embarrassing. And then you watch a game like Utah-UCLA. That was a bar fight, and Utah just choked UCLA out, wouldn't let them have anything. So there's been some interesting games today. By the way, if you're a Texas fan, Bama wins by 2 touchdowns. In terms of if you need a resume discussion later, that's good for you. If you're a Texas fan,
man. Very good.
That's good. Jalen Milroe looks pretty good. Hit a big deep ball. It was a clunky kind of game. That thing was 7-6 for a lot of it. For a while, Catch, between A&M, Auburn, Ole Miss, and Bama, woo, those 4 teams were playing some clunky football for a little while. But all of them could certainly hit you in the mouth. Bama did it when they needed to. Lane Kiffin still can't beat Nick Saban, and that's good news, I think, if you're a Texas fan, because, again, you want that Bama win to still feel like something, and you saw it today. Ole Miss went in there. They had their chances. They played all right, and guess what? They lost by 2 touchdowns. And your crew, if you're a Texas fan, you went in there and you won by 10. You won by 2 full scores, which is something that's rare. So that still has at least a little bit of fire to me, Catch. That thing matters still. That's if I'm a Texas fan, I notate that one. By the way, it is official. I just saw Sawyer Robertson chunking it around trying to go. Baylor's going with the all green tonight. You and I disagree with this choice, but they are going all green for the last time against Texas. They're throwing a Sawyer Robertson stat line up to right now. So I'm guessing that means he's going to try. Catch. We'll see.
I mean, they're going to look bad if he doesn't.
Yeah, right. They're showing him going through warm-ups. He's taking the throws. He's trying to go. Obviously, the Longhorns are doing what they do on the road. They are going icy whites. They look slick like they always do. Series history they're throwing on the screen.
Dave Aranda is a thin man.
He is a thin, yes. Yep.
I mean, that probably just means he's in shape, but thin profile.
Extra burgers, not a part of Dave Aranda's world.
Yeah, I don't think that guy's going to George's and getting the big chicken fried steak
with
like all the sides.
No.
Getting a salad.
No, if he does, he has his whole family share it. They just cut it up. They cut it up into pieces. This is the 113th time Texas has played Baylor, and it will be the last time. I agree with what Ketch said earlier. It's just like when Texas and Texas A&M stopped playing. The only thing that will get them back together is a playoff game or a New Year's Six bowl, in my opinion, because underneath that, conferences choose, teams get a little power, and Texas or Baylor will not allow that to happen. It just won't. Because if you're having the kind of season that puts you in a Texas Bowl, an Alamo Bowl, one of those, both sides, they won't want us to know this, but both sides will be squeamish, like the Longhorns and Aggies have been. They'll be squeamish and they'll say no. Or a conference will say no. That will – so you got to soak it up tonight. Last time to go to Waco. Certainly last time in Waco.
I'm like the only person feeling a little nostalgia today, Chad. And I got to be honest, I haven't felt that much. I haven't exactly been sitting around today like really thinking about the history of it all. The last time I've seen the tweets, even Anwar had one where he's like, here I am at McLean Stadium, the last time. And yeah, I just don't care that much.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what.
I care more than I think almost everybody else, and I don't care that much.
Yeah. Well, and I think in the end, like I've said all week, if you're a Texas fan, I would tell you as an Aggie fan, I haven't missed it, and I don't think you will either. But, soak it up one last time. Here's what you miss, Catch. You miss proximity. And, like as an A&M fan, I went from Waco's obviously a reasonable drive. Lubbock's a long drive, but it's a drive, but you could get there if you wanted to. Obviously, Austin went from that to, go Fort Worth, all that stuff. Went from that to the closest is Baton Rouge. And it happened like that. And you're like, whoa, wait. And Baton Rouge is a haul from here. It's a, whatever that is, 6.5 hours, something like that. So that's what you have to get used to if you're a Texas fan. The difference, though, becomes now you're going to have road trips that you will actually want to go. Oh, wait, let me get the hotel figured out. Let me see about plane flights and let me, put it together. I've put together a couple of those trips for me and my dad to go to a game. It's pretty damn cool. It really is. Go, picking out a location and saying, hey, Knoxville or Starkville or Lexington or wherever it is you're going to decide to go, Tuscaloosa, Auburn, whatever. It's pretty fun. But what you lose is just the ability to get in a car and go, hey, let's go see the boys play on the road. That gets a lot tougher now for Texas fans, just like it did for Aggie fans years ago. By the way, before we kick off here, Catch, you got a thought for me on Oregon 42, Colorado 6 today?
Oregon clearly better than Colorado. I think we knew that. I think that, at the end of the day, Colorado probably should have lost to Colorado State. I mean, it took Colorado making a big fourth quarter comeback to make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think we know TCU's not awesome. Nebraska's not awesome. So look, the thing is, if Colorado gets to a bowl game this year, that's an amazing coaching job by Deion Sanders. I think the fact that they win their first 3 games kind of had the nation's attention, set that up for Oregon to just plow through them. I think it makes for a really good looking win right now for Oregon. It's like, oh my God, they beat Colorado 49-0. They look great today, but I don't know what that win ultimately is. I think when it's all said and done, Colorado will be hard pressed to get to 6 wins. I looked at their schedule. I think they've got 2 games against non-ranked opponents the rest of the way. So we're probably talking about a 6-6, 7-5 type team at the end of the year. And that would be a great coaching job considering they won a single game a year ago. Oregon looked great. I thought Dan Lanning cracked me up with the whole, they're about clicks. We're about what was it? We're about winning, I think is what he said. They're about clicks. Right. It's like, come on. You're the head coach at Oregon. You guys literally change your helmets and your uniforms every week to get attention.
Catch, you got to lay off him. It's the 1 week out of all of them. He actually gets to play the substance card.
No. Look, I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at Dan Lanning. He can say whatever he wants to, but it's Oregon. And if you're preening in front of the camera while you accuse someone else of acting for clicks, let's just acknowledge the richness of the irony. That's all it is. He's allowed to do it. I'm just saying it's Oregon.
Right.
Next week, they might dress up for Halloween as clowns on the field. Hey, here's our Halloween uniform. It's not impossible. It could happen. So, I was okay with it, but I did chuckle at, just the sheer audacity of dancing in front of the camera and accusing someone else of,
Yeah.
searching for clicks.
Yeah, they looked incredible today. The numbers in that game. I mean, Colorado had 21 total yards at the half. It was absolutely silly what Oregon did to them. By the way, quick chat here on a different subject. Rogue Shop. Hey, Rogue Shop wants to know, Chad, where was the best trip for you in the SEC? I'll give you 2 if you're a Longhorn fan. And shout out to Rogue Shop. Get that code scan there while I'm talking. But there's 2 I'd recommend. LSU and Georgia. Those are the 2 that I've been to that I think if you're a Texas fan, you will have an incredible good time. Everything considered, I think it's LSU, the people, all that. And again, remember, you're Longhorn fans going in there. I was an Aggie fan. That part could be different. They may look at you different or treat you different or whatever. We love Baton Rouge. And if you're a Texas fan and you love Austin and you love what Austin is, you have got to go check out Athens, Georgia, because it just reminded me of Austin in a whole bunch of ways. And there's some Rogue Shop for Mr. Ketchum. You hear that cough? That's a Rogue Shop cough.
It is a Rogue Shop cough. I just want to represent.
What do you got, Catch? What's the flavor?
Still the gelato.
Still the gelato. You're
I got to
enjoying
place
that.
a new order. I'm almost out. So
Okay. How long does it last you?
If I'm going to participate in Rogue products next weekend, I'm probably going to have to do a fast order shipment. I do need to get some birthday cake. I miss it. I miss the birthday cake.
So in that world, do we call those, what are they, cartridges or canisters or what?
Cartridges.
Okay. How long does a cartridge last you normally?
Not nearly long enough.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Shout out to Rogue Shop. Thanks to everybody who's scanning those codes. There's a lot of good stuff coming in on the chat, like this one. Let's see what this is here. This is from IT Mac Pro Catch. Enjoying being able to watch the game from the comfort of his desk and not sitting on the bed.
Truer words have never been written in the Specs chat. Thank God we're beyond the Longhorn Network deal. And look, that might not have even been the Longhorn Network's fault last week, right? I mean, ESPN, ESPN Plus, Xfinity. But the issue is it's just always a pain in the ass with the Longhorn Network. I don't mind it for basketball and baseball, but for football, it's like, ugh. You getting a little Sarkisian being interviewed in the pregame right now, Chad?
Yep, Luganville and Sarkisian. That's what I'm looking at right now. They're doing a little pregame interview. Interesting stat they just threw up since 2010, 7-6 Texas in the rivalry. So Baylor could even that up. Since 2010, they'd be dead even at the end of it.
That is bad. I mean, it does tell you a little bit about where I think maybe both programs have been over the course of the last 13 years.
Yeah,
Texas ahead.
Yeah, they're
Baylor
ahead.
Really competitive. And look, Baylor's the one with Big 12 championships on its resume since 2010. Texas, not so much. Yep,
Big 12 championships, playing for it certainly more than Texas has, and obviously a couple of back-to-backs that we've talked about since 2010. We were just about to see it get going. 96 degrees, feels like 103 for a 6:30 kick. It was steaming hot today in College Station, Catch. Historic kind of numbers, and looks like we're seeing the same thing in Waco. It's going to be a broiler. Let's see what that looks. Let's see how that affects the game. Yeah.
It feels like it's 110 degrees on the field. That means somebody has a temperature gauge down there. And John says, "Hook 'em fellas, congrats on your win, Chad. Let's get a big Longhorns win." Hey, real quick, what'd you think about your Aggies? I know it's right before kickoff, but real quick, your thoughts on the Aggies?
They look good overall. Hopefully Wigman's all right. Defense did their job. It should have been 27-3 because they gave up a scoop and score for the touchdown. Defense didn't give up a touchdown. Hopefully Wigman's all right, but Max Johnson played okay. Aggies handled their business in the first conference game. It's what they had to do. Auburn's a clunky-ass team.
Yeah. Longhorns are going to be kicking off to Baylor to start the game. We are almost at kickoff. Here we go, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
One last time, just for old time's sake. Oh! I didn't say the actual Sick'em Bears.
No, don't do it. Don't do that.
For one time, just the action of it all. Bears are coming out. They're still doing the Sawyer Robertson thing. So He must be the guy.
Yeah.
Look at that. Played 5 games for Mississippi State. He shouldn't be a total scrub.
No, he, like I said, I've watched him play a couple games when he was at Mississippi State. He's okay. He's all right at times. There's nothing fantastic about him. The key is if you come after if you don't let him get time and you go after the O-line, you should be okay. So regular stuff here. 25-yard line after a touchback.
1st and 10, first play of the game. Kind of here we go. Baylor doing a little RPO action, a little screen out in the flat. Those are the passes we want to see Texas throw some today, even though not a big gain. If you're trying to get Sawyer Robertson going, get him some easy throws, do some things that, you otherwise, oh. So here's the deal, Chad. I have it up on ESPN.
Uh-huh.
Something's going to happen on this play.
Something's going to happen?
What we decide after this drive is whether or not we want to get a little further ahead.
All right. Okay.
But
Well,
this is not a bad play for the Longhorns as none other than Ethan Burke.
How about a sack? No, that's the Jet Bush.
Oh, it's Jet Bush. I'm sorry. I got my defensive ends confused.
Watch it. Yes. Let's see.
Where
you
he
know
came
what?
in from, I was thinking that
Unblocked.
was Ethan Burke, but you're right. Jet Bush with his first sack of the season.
Yeah, and it's easy for the Jet to get to full speed when no one touches him. No lineman grabbed him, and then a running back couldn't get out there in time. Jet went right around him. Easy sack, 3rd and 15 for Baylor.
The Bears are this is not what they want to be seeing with Sawyer, and they don't want to see that either.
Sack
Byron
number 2.
Murphy, big man, gets him a sack, 2 sacks on the first drive of the game. It's going to be 4th and 20 for Baylor.
Yeah.
And
Catch, what do you think? I might split that one. Is that Murphy and Sorrell? Because it felt like they both got there at the same time.
No, I think that's a Murphy sack. I think Sorrell shows up late. You'll
Let's
see
watch
it
it
here
again.
on the replay. He makes first contact.
You may be right. Yeah. That's Murphy.
Now,
Great
I
play,
don't know that they might split that, but that looked like a Murphy sack to me.
We got a little, maybe a penalty, a pre-snap penalty on this punt, but great start for Texas and a false start. The punt's going to back up even further. Fantastic start for the Texas defense. By the way, also credit to David Benda and Jalen Ford. They started the kind of establishing the defense on that first play. Good gang tackling out on the edge. Both guys were there to push the receiver out of bounds, and then 2 straight sacks. So big start for the defense.
So it's only 4th and 25.
Yeah. No, this is where you fake it. This is where I'd fake it, Catch. Kitchen
This where
sink.
you fake it?
This is where you fake it. Whatever your fake play is, just run it now. Who cares? Let's go. Fair catch at about
Chad,
the
we're getting ready to go
42-yard line.
commercial. Do you think you can fast forward your TV 19 seconds?
19 seconds?
Yeah.
I don't know if do I have the ability to know?
Maybe
if I'm
don't do it now.
19.
When we get to commercial, we're going to reset.
Okay.
Because it'll look a lot better if I'm looking ahead as opposed to my profile like this. And I have it set up so that it looks like I'm watching you, but I can actually watch the game straight in front of me. It just looks a little better, I think. Plus, we can get people a little closer here. First down play for the Longhorns. Little easy pass out into the flat. A little short pass to the right. We talk about this all the time. That is not what Texas generally does on offense. They go to Xavier Worthy, and it is a loss of 5.
Yeah, that's a really nice tackle, too, out on the edge. That was a really nice tackle. Caden Jenkins from a kid out of Louisville just came out and really put Xavier Worthy on the ground quickly.
Second and 15, Longhorns now. You would think this is a rundown play. They got to get some of that back, and it is. It's a Jonathan Brooks run. Not a whole lot there. He gets most of – looks like it's about a 5-yard carry when it's all said and done. Sets up the first big third down. Maybe this won't be a game that has a bunch of big third downs. Longhorns get ahead early. We won't be talking about third downs in that fashion. But right now, 3rd and 10, Longhorns will be looking to convert, not the down and distance. Who you going? Who you throwing the ball to here, Chad?
If I'm really trying to get this first down, Sanders.
Look at that. Look at the middle of that field right now.
Yeah, Sanders.
All those guys at the line of scrimmage. Baylor only rushing 4.
Get out there, 0. How about that? See, it works. JT Sanders, first down. That ball traveled about a yard, and Sanders finished the rest of it.
Baylor basically opened that up for Texas. I mean, they crowd the line of scrimmage with what looked like 7, and then they dropped looked like 2 or 3 back. They only rushed with 4. Texas got the ball out quickly there, knowing that the entire middle of the field was kind of wide open. There wasn't a lot of Baylor defense to track that play. They go to Jordan Whittington on first down. Okay.
I like that play catch. It's a creative run. Make it look like it's going one way, run Whittington the other way. Again, my 2 big words for the week, patience and creativity. Sark has to stay both of those things. Hard to do, but so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. The creativity is there, but he's staying patient. Got to keep the short stuff. You got to take what they give you, and you got to beat them slowly.
Well, we know that Sarkisian's on a script right now. And the Longhorns are playing a 4-man defensive line. Just for those of you who might be wondering, what we're not looking at right now is a lot of that 3-3-5 that we talked all week about. How much would Baylor play the defense that Wyoming went to a week ago? It's 3rd and 3. Baylor playing, as far as I've been able to tell, they're playing a 4-man front on pretty much every down.
I do not like that call. Little straight.
I didn't like that call. I didn't like the execution of it. 3rd and 3. They run the ball on a little bit of a delayed guard, like a little GT action there. And before anything could ever get set up, Baylor was in the backfield. They stopped that for a 3-yard loss, and it means that Texas will be punting.
Really felt like they were going to be able to. The fact that they got out of that, that loss of yards with the Sanders play really felt like some momentum was happening, and then just kind of a clunky call there, just a basic handoff. Didn't love that. That needed to be more creative.
So Longhorns are punting here. Ball goes into the end zone. It's going to be.
Did they do that? No, they didn't.
No, they didn't. It's going to be 1st and 20 at the 20 for the Bears. Chad, see if you can. 19 seconds is your challenge.
19 seconds. I don't know if my TV is good enough to show me 19 seconds, but let me try.
Just guess it. I'll let you know where we are in the commercial break, assuming you're seeing the same things in the commercials that I'm seeing.
All right. I fast forwarded a little bit. I'm watching Mayhem in a chair, pulling the cord at the wedding.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, so I don't think we're watching the same commercials.
Okay. What's the is it Allstate that has the Mayhem guy?
Yes.
That's what I'm watching. I'm watching
a Ford commercial right now.
Oh, you're watching Ford. All right, let me see if I go back.
I think that's a Ford. So, okay. Yeah, we're looking at an F-150 commercial right now.
All right, I went back. I think I went back too far. Oh, no, wait. No, hold on. No.
But again, I don't think we're watching the same commercials potentially.
Oh, you know what?
I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, I see.
But when we get back, I'm going to let you know when I'm back.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
I mean, it can't be. How bad can this be? Ultimately, we'll get it figured out.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
We'll get it figured out. But what this is going to allow me to do is take the other TV and put it on Ohio State and Notre Dame, which I really want to do.
I see what you're doing now. I see what you're doing.
You can't begrudge me for that, can you?
I cannot begrudge you for that one. Ohio State and Notre Dame are playing. The 2 best helmets with nothing on it, playing each other. The gold against the silver. I mean,
that game, by the way, 0-0 with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
All right.
See, I didn't know that because now I'm going to have Ohio State and Notre Dame here.
Okay.
Like when Liverpool's playing soccer, when we're doing a show, I'm going to be here. But when Texas game is on, I'll be here.
You know what? After last week and all your discomfort, I need you to be comfortable this week. So whatever you need me to do.
You want me to be comfortable. Hold on.
Whatever you need to do, because you went through too much stress last week. That's what happened.
I hated that. I hated last weekend. That was so not fun to be in a position where I'm literally holding the microphone in one hand. And it's not like these microphones are easily they're awkward. Right. It's an awkward microphone.
Catch, let me know when you see October 30th, 2021 and a highlight from Baylor.
All right. Well, right now you got to be at least 10 seconds ahead of me.
I know. That's why I've paused. I'm waiting for you. You tell me. When do you see it?
I will let you know. There's a hug. A man and his son are hugging right now in a commercial that I'm watching, and the Houston Methodist commercial at that. All right. Now I'm watching the Baylor play.
There it is. Okay. We're going to guess that that's about right.
Shouldn't you have just paused your TV, and then once I told you we were there, you could unpause it?
That's what I just did.
Okay. So now you see Baylor guys jumping around, flag wave. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Come on. Hey, we're going to pick it up, bald man. I got you. I got you. All right. So this is Baylor's second possession. No score, about 9 minutes to go. And Baylor trying to run around the right side. Pretty successful run to Reese, I believe that is, around the right side. So Sawyer Robertson is the starting quarterback. If you're just jumping in, maybe you got in a little later, welcome in to the watch along. Brought to you by Pinthouse. Shout out to Specs. It brings us the Specs chat, specsonline.com. If you need to grab something, get something delivered, and you just realize, crap, we forgot the beer. specsonline.com.
Bears doing probably what they need to try to do. Run the football. Nothing there. David Benda, Jalen Ford, Tavondre Sweat. By the way, Tavondre Sweat in the all whites. He looks like an NFL defensive tackle.
Doesn't he? He looks like it took 20 minutes to get him into all that stuff. You know what I mean? It took multiple humans to get him into all that stuff. And once he's in it, I agree with you. He looks vicious.
Nothing sexy about what Baylor's trying to do so far on this drive, but they do pick up a first down. Hal Presley catching the third down pass. Just a little quick pass out into the flat, sets up a 1st and 10 for Baylor. It's a little too soon to say they've got a little something cooking, but considering it was 4th and 25 when they punted on the last drive, picking up a first down on this drive, at least for the Bears, a good thing. We'll see if they can continue. My expectation is pure dominance tonight on behalf of this Texas defense. Anything less than that, I'm going to frankly be a little bit disappointed in this group.
So far,
for that reason, see?
They've looked good, and they just swallowed a running back in the backfield. Broughton,
Murphy, whole gang of dudes were there.
Terrell. That's the other thing I like so far, Catch. I'm watching 2 or 3 Longhorns feel like they're in on every tackle, so that's good. Some gang tackling going on.
You know what? Broughton let go. I think that Murphy will probably get the whole thing.
Yeah.
They hit the ball carrier together, but then Broughton fell off and Murphy took him to the ground. It could be Murphy's second tackle for loss, technically, although they should probably split that. Sets up a 2nd and 13. By the way, Chad, just FYI, they got him again. That's literally the 3rd sack.
3 sacks. Bush and Broughton in that time. Plus, and Murphy was there if they weren't.
3 sacks out of 8 plays?
There literally was an extra guy there if they needed him. They are swamping this Baylor offensive line to start the game. It's 3rd and 16, already 3 sacks for the Longhorns.
But you know what it is, Chad? Look how much time is left in this quarter.
6:20 and counting.
I feel like we've blinked and had more than almost 10 minutes has gone off the clock. Baylor will be okay with this. This is not going the way they want it to. And as soon as they got a first down, it went tackle for loss, sack on that 3rd and 16 incomplete pass. But I think the Baylor game plan is exactly like the Wyoming game plan, which means what they want is for this clock to run. They want to get to the 4th quarter with 7 minutes to go and have it within 1 score.
Yep, just be
They're
close.
not doing anything right now on offense, but they have been running the clock a little bit, and maybe that's a win for them at this point. Although the Longhorns are going to get really good field position on this Baylor punt. Not quite sure yet where they've got it spotted, but it looks like around the 45, 46-yard line.
Yeah. back to that last drive catch. The last time Texas had the ball, they started about the 40-42, good field position. Let's see if they can use the good field position here. Baylor feels like a team that can be struck right now. Texas needs to find those body blows, hook together some moving of the sticks. I was really disappointed in that last drive when they moved the sticks the first time. They came back from the losing the yards. Great play to Sanders, creative runs, and then just a on 3rd and 3 kind of a run. Let's see if they can really get after it. The offensive line needs to start doing what this defensive line is doing. The Texas D-line is the story of this game early. And I'm going to tell you what, Jeff Ketchum, number 90 for Texas is making money by the second. Byron Murphy is a dude right now. He threw the guy to the side to make that last play with one arm and made the tackle with the other. This guy just feels like he's getting better every single rep. If I'm remembering correctly, in the War Room this week on orangebloods.com, check it out every Thursday night, there was a note about how good, I think it was from Anwar, about how good he'd been practicing this week. Obviously, I buy it. The key was, I guess, hey, he play well, reward him by throwing him a football. Sark, you might need to throw him another one because he's playing his ass off on defense already.
Yes, he is. Real quick, guys, do us a solid. Like the video. I don't even know how many likes we've got so far, but I'm going to guess not enough. We're like 55. Come on now, guys.
Come on now.
Hit that like button. Don't make me lash out and take you guys to task.
Here's how it works. 10 likes for every Longhorn sack. So you owe us 30 likes right now. That's the rule.
What, I'll take a hit off of the Rogue every 10 likes.
There you go. Every 10 likes, Catch goes Rogue. How about that?
Boy, we got to be careful. We want to be careful with that, just so you know.
Yeah, you want to be very careful. Kids, be careful. We're coming up on 200 in the Specs chat. We appreciate you being with us. Good day of college football has already been going on, and Texas trying to be a part of it. Florida State got a win today. Michigan won today. Georgia's playing this evening, correct? Georgia's playing
7-0 last score I saw in that game.
UAB, right? They're not playing conference yet. I think this is a non-con still for them.
Hey, real quick, if you're just joining in, sorry to interrupt you, Chad, but I see a little bit of the conversation. Guys, we're on a little bit of a delay, and that is on purpose. We don't want to be ahead of you. So if you're thinking to yourself, guys, y'all are way behind, you need to catch up. No, we don't. We can't. This is as good as it's going to get for us. If you want to sync it, almost certainly will need to delay it. Longhorns looking at a 1st and 10 from their 45. I'll let you know when this play is over. Uh-oh, there you go. Look at Quinn Ewers throwing the ball where he wants to throw it, Chad.
Man.
Pro Football Focus would tell you between the numbers in the middle of the field, and he gets his first downfield completion to Xavier Worthy on the night. Man, if you're Texas, just go. Baylor's not throwing your kryptonite at you. That's not what is happening right now. Baylor's doing what they do on defense. They got a 4-man front right now. They've got 7 in the box. And Texas still running the football. Jonathan Brooks with a big one. That's a touchdown.
Wow.
Jonathan Brooks to his house, Chad.
Yes, and somehow we came out of that break, and I don't think I hit anything over here. Came out of that break, and you are way ahead of me. So I'm interested to watch the Jonathan Brooks touchdown run. I don't know what just happened. That's so weird.
How did that happen?
We came out of the break, and you were just way ahead of me. Great run by Brooks.
Yeah, I did not mean to be the spoiler for you there on that play.
No, that's big. And
on the
it also gives
touchdown of all the plays that I was going to spoil for you.
Right.
That was it.
We haven't seen Baxter at all, correct? This has all been Brooks?
Yes. So far, it's been the Jonathan Brooks show. And I guarantee you, that's the biggest play of Jonathan Brooks' career. Because his competition is back.
Yep.
And by the way, great block by Gunnar Helm on that play, blocking down. Longhorns really just sealed the Baylor defense. They sealed that run. And once Baxter got to the corner,
Brooks.
Yes, thank you. It's a problem when you have running backs, too many running backs, and then running backs B and B. Like I need one of
yeah.
them to start with a Q.
Yeah, also a nice job just by Brooks. He had to beat one guy. One guy was right there, and he beat him. And then you mentioned the blocks that helped him out. Just a great team play and good momentum early for Texas. That's one touchdown. They're making Baylor chase, and we certainly feel like this Baylor team may not be designed to chase 2 touchdowns. We'll see if they're, how they do down 1. They do not seem to be doing a good job of blocking so far. Texas controlling that part, and now Texas jumps out on the offensive side. That is a big, big start for Texas.
It's a big, big start, Chad, and now the pressure's on Baylor. Now it's 7-0, and now they have to be careful that they have to be respectable on offense, or this game's going to get away from them quickly. Baylor came into this game wretched against the run, and they didn't look good on that play.
No. Yeah, well, it was 105, I believe. If you believe in 3 weeks worth of stats, I think it was 105 against the run. Obviously something you want to go at, and Texas just did it.
What's up, fellas? Sorry, can't watch y'all. You're like 3 minutes ahead of you. How in the hell are we 3 minutes ahead of you?
3 minutes ahead? Wow. Okay. I don't know how we did that.
Hit the live button on your
just
remote
pause
control.
us. You can pause us 3 minutes, no problem.
I was gonna say you can pause us. Remember, you can pause us
in the commercial break.
You can pause us. You can pause the television.
Time to pause us.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you need. I'm trying to figure out what happened in that last commercial break. So I fast forwarded a little bit. I'm gonna see what Catch tells me happens. I don't know. I have to do it too.
That was like magic, Chad.
It was weird. It was so weird. We thought we had everything figured out. I don't know. Maybe my leg hit something. I have no idea, man.
We went to commercial break in sync. We came back with me 30 seconds ahead of you. I don't know what happened on that play. I described the touchdown run, and you were just sitting there in silence. The thing was, we had the Worthy play ahead of that. Yeah, you didn't say anything then either.
No, I was just confused because you were talking about the Worthy play, and I was watching Sawyer Robertson talk to some dude on the sideline, and I was like, this is weird. What's happening here? So, yeah. I don't know exactly how it's.
The Longhorns come back with an onside kick.
That's not what I'm still watching a commercial. How dare you? Now you're going to mess with me? That's what you're going to do? Come on.
The thing is, I shouldn't do that like to everybody else. I know there's a lot of people I did that to, but like I really did that to you.
You were just doing that to me. Yeah. See, so mine just came back at 7-0, and we're seeing the Texas.
Now you're ahead of me.
Now I got back ahead of you. Okay. All right, hang on.
Now I see 7-0.
Okay, let me pause for just a little bit here, and we'll see if we can get close to back on. All right. So I just saw a ball go out of the end zone. Where are you?
All right, you're like 3 seconds ahead of me.
All right.
Bears are going to take over 1st and 10. It was a touchback.
Okay. So now I'm seeing a little Texas defensive montage, the Jet Bush montage.
There's Jet Bush with the first sack of the game. And then 90 just kind of took over.
Dude, he's playing so well right now. Impressive stuff from this Texas D-line.
On the Byron Murphy, there is talk before the season about him leaving to go pro early.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a complete joke because I had not seen a player. He's an undersized guy. I had not seen a guy playing at a level that would warrant that kind of discussion. Good God. I mean, this is what I thought would happen, Chad. This is what I thought this game would look like.
Yeah, this is a delayed handoff, and every Longhorn suited up made the tackle. That's not true, but it felt like it. It was Tavondre Sweat and like 4 other guys made that tackle.
They're showing the thing. What are they really missing? And I guess Blake Shapen's better than what they have.
Yeah.
But, they're pointing out that he was a 2021 Big 12 championship game MVP. Like that was
taking a shot, Baylor. Oh, nice pass from Sawyer Robertson. Wow. Down the right sideline, outside the number, and he just threw a dart. Actually, that's more of a drop in the bucket kind of throw. He just dropped it in there.
That's actually a great throw.
Big gain down to the 40-yard line. Ryan Watts is right there.
Hey, real quick, what do you got on the clock?
I got 4-18, 17.
We're good.
Okay. Beautiful. That was a really nice throw and catch. Keytron Jackson, Jr. out of Roy City, is who made that catch down the right sideline.
It was for as much junk, it's going to be a
trick play.
Obviously, nothing was there. They're going to get a little gain out of that. I was going to say that was really good defense by Texas for those not able to necessarily watch. They throw the backwards pass. So as soon as you see that, as a defense, your alarm bells have to be going off. Like when you see the backwards lateral, you got to be thinking they're getting ready to take a shot. Texas defended it, and the receiver did a good job of immediately seeing that whatever he was going to do was covered up, and he gained 5 yards on the play.
Yeah. Catch, you asked what they were going to miss with Shapen. I thought it was throws like Robertson just made, honestly.
But Shapen hadn't made that throw in 2 years.
He just made one, and Robertson's trying to make it twice. He doesn't, but there's a PI call coming. Texas is about to get called for PI in the end zone, maybe, or just outside the end zone.
It's going to end up being a 15-yard penalty. It's not the NFL, but now you're looking at a Baylor offense that's going to have 1st and 10 at the 20. They're in scoring position. I mentioned right after Texas scored, the pressure's on Baylor to get some points out of this drive, and it was.
That's Taff with the PI, yeah.
He's on the receiver. The ball's in the air. I mean, it is what it is. The ball ends up ultimately being uncatchable, but was it uncatchable because Taff mauled the Baylor receiver? Maybe.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
that's the argument.
When you don't know, you have to call it, and it is 1st and 10 now at like the 19.5-yard line.
Yeah. So Baylor just inside the red zone. Now they're going to be just outside of it, I think, with a false start maybe.
By the way, Notre Dame and Ohio State in a 0-0 game into the second quarter, Notre Dame just missed a 47-yard field goal.
All righty. Waiting for the call on this flag. Felt like it's a Baylor penalty. I didn't see Texas jump.
Well, what could Texas have done?
Oh, prior to it, timeout. Okay, sorry. They blew it dead for a timeout. That's what I said. There's no way it was a Texas penalty, but it was a Baylor timeout here. 3:14 to go, first quarter, and it is 7-0 Texas. Baylor on a little bit of a drive here. Did we get Blake Super Chat in there? $5. First quarter touchdown tip. Let's keep it going. Appreciate you guys. I listen at lunch every day. Thank you, Blake.
There you go, Blake. We love you, man. Thank you for that.
Yes, that is House Divided every weekday, 12 to 3 on Orangebloods Live. Up over 17,000 subscribers. You got a current subscriber number for me, Catch? Where are we?
Man, hold on.
We got to get to 18,000.
I have a lot of things open at the moment. So
all right, my bad.
I'll get you an update. We're like 17-2-ish.
17-2. Let's get to 18,000 as fast as possible. We appreciate everybody for the support. Here's Robertson back to pass, and he just dumped one into the turf because he didn't like what he saw on 1st and 10.
By the way, kudos to Baylor here. Really aggressive approach. They've now thrown it deep twice. By the way, kids, if you're wondering, Sawyer Robertson likes to throw the ball to the right. So that might be so far that's been Ryan Watts and Michael Taft getting a little something on that side of the field. But he seems to like throwing it that direction.
Yep. And we saw that on that chart we looked at this week. A lot of it was weird, but there was some good stuff on that right side. Not so much deep, but on the short stuff. And here's Robertson scrambling on a 2nd down play, picking up a few yards, running around the right side.
They gave him a great spot. Baylor's
about to have 3rd and short from about the 10.
I'd like to see that again.
Yeah.
Did he really get that good of? I thought he ran out of bounds. It was like the reverse play from a week ago. No, I guess before he stepped out of bounds.
The foot hit the 10.
Wow, they gave him the 1st down out of that.
God, they gave him the 9. I think that's a bit of a generous
spot. I'm telling
spot.
you, like the spot is like the opposite from the Wyoming game.
Big 12
Instead
official.
of, I thought he ran out of bounds like around the 13-14. Bears now 1st and goal. They're inside the Texas 5-yard line down to the 6, setting up 2nd down. Really good Baylor drive. This was a drive. They haven't gotten points out of it yet. I shouldn't assume that they will, but they're certainly in a position to get some points out of this drive. Have to have it. Can't let Texas get 7s and then keep a big old 0 on the board where this thing gets away from Baylor real fast. Texas now needs to play some really good red zone defense and keep them out of the end zone. And quite frankly, if you're Texas, allowing Baylor to get 3 points doesn't hurt you at all. 3 points you can absolutely live with because you're getting 7s. Baylor getting 3 is not going to hurt you at all. Baylor really, Chad, I think they would probably take the points. It's going to be 3rd and goal. They're at about the 5. You have to wonder, once you get inside the 5-yard line, the analytics start to tell you that you need to go for the touchdown. I wonder what Aranda does on 4th down if it gets to 4th down.
Yeah. If I'm a Baylor,
they need 7s.
If I'm a Baylor fan, I'd love to see this ball go into the end zone. Those first 2 plays felt really clunky. They're going to or at least trying to go to the end zone here. Roll out to the left. A flag is down.
Ooh, and Michael Taft, technically that's a sack.
Yeah.
Now,
Taft.
This is going to, I think, be holding on Baylor, I think. Although it looked like maybe one of the officials showed hands to the face. We'll see what this call is. If the play holds, would you push them back? No, it looks like it's going to be a hold on Baylor. Does Texas decline this?
You decline it, make him kick, or make him. I mean, you're making him make a decision. He almost got there. That's true. He did. Well, he almost got to the line of scrimmage, but that was a 3rd and goal play.
That's going to end up being a sack for Michael Taft.
Yep, Taft.
That was behind the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm. You are correct. And I think I think this is the way to go. Make it 4th and goal. If he really wants to go for 4th and whatever this would be, 4 or 5, that's on him. But yeah, Texas declines it. Baylor's going to go for a field goal.
I mean, I can't go so far as to say I don't like this decision, but I think Baylor needs to be thinking touchdown. The problem that Baylor has now, that's Aranda trusting his defense.
Yeah. And I mean, he also just saw his offense complete a couple of, complete that nice long pass play, convert some first downs. They showed him a little something. So,
but I'm telling you, man, you can't come into this game if you're Baylor with a knife to a gunfight.
Well, yeah, but you also can't. You can't come out of that drive with no points.
I agree with you, but what I'm telling you is from 30 in the traditional football discussion, you're exactly right. Right? Get points on the board. It's certainly the NFL move. You take the 3. You wouldn't just not take 3 points if it's the NFL. But I think that let's see what happens on this drive. But if Texas gets this ball and goes down the field and scores a touchdown, this game is over. It's over. It's over at 14-3.
Yeah, I mean, well, and but I get what you're saying.
Baylor can't the only thing where that changes if Texas gets up by double digits is if Texas has a big turnover. And that obviously could happen.
Just as you say that, the kick returner, Keelan Robinson, fumbles the ball. He is able to recover it.
It wasn't a turnover.
He did fumble it and then
recovered
he did fumble
it. By the way, Maurice Blackwell out on the field as well, which means that if you're the Longhorns at this point, you start thinking about the injuries. They've got Cole Hudson out, but they get Maurice Blackwell and CJ Baxter back. And then obviously they're missing. I'm having the Christopher Ross is out. He and Hudson thinking OU-ish in terms of a return. Yeah. But Maurice Blackwell back, that just bolsters the defense a little bit. Longhorns on 1st and 10 from their 12. We'll toss to Baxter. His first run back from injury. Look good there. No hobbling from what I can really tell.
I think another reason you do what Baylor did is you've given a little energy to the crowd. Feels like the students, old Baylor line, everything, a little more energy in them than if it was 7-0 right now. But either way, Texas coming out of this end, they're trying to give them a little noise and trying to get after it. That was a nice 4-yard game. Play fake.
Texas take its first shot down the field tonight, Chad.
That's a great little throw. Am I way ahead of you here? I just saw a pass to Mitchell.
They threw what do you got on the clock?
It's a replay right now.
Yeah, we're in the same area.
Okay.
They hit Adonai Mitchell there, pick up the first down, move across the 30.
I've got that.
19 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah,
Baylor doing a good job there, stuffing what will be the last play of the first half or first quarter. Excuse me. They go to Jonathan Brooks, trying to run between the hash marks, trying to run between the tackles to the left side, and nothing there. And we're going to go into the first quarter. Texas 7, Baylor 3. I think both teams are probably happy at this point.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Certainly, Baylor's definitely happy with where it is. Like you said, it feels like the possessions are being minimized like they would want it to be, and they want to make this a rock fight. They want to make this a slog kind of a game, but they've also seen their quarterback, hit some passes at times. Biggest thing if you're Texas is your defensive front looks impressive so far. It does not look like Baylor's going to be able to do what it wants to do running the ball. Updated rush numbers. I'm seeing 11 carries for -2 for Baylor and 5 for 48 for Texas. If that continues,
if Texas continues to run for nearly 10 yards a carry.
Yeah, if that continues, it's a rout in Waco for the last one between these two teams. Great start for Texas, about 10 a carry, and giving up not even a half a yard a carry on the other side. The big plays for Baylor on that drive to set up the field goal. It was a pass. It was Jackson, who has 2 catches for 42 yards, including that 39-yarder. So
I think they're going to have to continue that, Chad, because they've not been able. The one thing you would say coming out of the first quarter, the Texas defensive line more than anything else dominated the line of scrimmage in that first quarter.
Yep. And
I don't know that in the second quarter Baylor is going to be gashing Texas in the run game.
No, I would guess they wouldn't. And if I'm Steve Sarkisian, or specifically if I'm Kwiatkowski, I'm probably thinking, all right, if Sawyer Robertson throws that ball 2 more times, I might get really freaked out by it. But I don't think he's throwing that one all night. That was a beautiful ball, and he may not get close to something like that again.
That may be the best ball he throws all season.
Again, he's a 45% passer. We said it this week. What do they lose from Shapen to him? 68% to 45%. But I will say this so far, if you're a Baylor fan, you dig what Sawyer Robertson's showing you. 4 of 6, 52 yards so far. And that is certainly, I think, better than maybe we expected it would be. He's had those moments. Again, Catch, this week has been a full week of prep with them knowing it. Shapen got hurt during the Texas State game, slogged through it, tried to go a little bit past that. They've known all week it was Robertson. So Grimes, Robertson getting together and trying to figure it out. It looks pretty good in terms of what you might have expected, so far. But it does not look like Baylor can get anything in the run game. So they really are going to have to – Sawyer Robertson's going to get dared to make those throws all night.
Oh, and I mean – if they can't run the ball, which at this point it looks like it's going to be a chore for Baylor to do that, then this puts Baylor in the position, whether it almost puts them in chase mode. You know what I mean? Like, because what is chase mode for Baylor if they go down 2 scores? It means maybe they can't be patient with the run game. Maybe you get to a point where you're asking your quarterback to throw the ball 2 out of every 3 plays. That's not where Baylor wants to be, but it may be. Riding a hot Sawyer Robertson, if such a thing can exist, might be the way this thing has to go for Baylor. If they're going to, I think we're watching Texas getting ready to obliterate Baylor. Like, that's what I think we're on the verge of watching. It hasn't happened yet. It's 7-3 at the end of the second quarter. Even though they hit the 1 pass play and got the pass interference penalty, I don't know, man. I feel like we're going to be watching a desperate Baylor team by the end of this. I think this game's over when the second quarter is over. Longhorns come out, first play of the second quarter, right up the middle, pick up about almost 5.
Good chunk.
It's going to be 3rd and 3 officially, but it's a short 3. Interesting play call here. That was to Baxter.
Texas, if nothing else, Texas has done a good job of getting off the goal line, calming the crowd down a little bit, just getting the chunks they want. Here's another 3rd and 3 catch. Last time it was 3rd and 3. They ran a basic run, and it went nowhere. Let's see what Sark's thinking on this 3rd and 3. 3 receivers right, and then send Worthy in motion to the left. Ewers, ball batted away.
That's a good job by the Baylor defense.
It was. Guy gets his hands up.
Punt here. You think aggressive Sark goes for it here on the road?
Oh, that kind of feel.
You're not close. Maybe another 10 yards, and maybe they do.
Yeah, I wouldn't love it. Gabe Hall knocks it away. The young man from Waller. He knows about good barbecue. Hit that Waller barbecue if you haven't. It's good stuff.
I've never had Waller barbecue.
Ooh, right there on I-10. It's good.
You're telling me Waller's got good barbecue, and he's had a lot of it in his lifetime, likely.
It looks like he's had a helping or two, yes. It does. Here comes the punter. And another. Oh, wow.
Oh, they're going to say that went out of bounds, but boy.
I thought that ball stayed in. Catch that. I thought that was a hell of a seeing eye punt.
I need to see where that hit because that rolled inside the 5, but they've spotted this at the 23.
Yeah, well, we are talking Big 12 officials. They've already had one little moment tonight where they gave Baylor too much. So, Texas fans, I'll say it for you. That happened once. We'll see what's going on.
Quick score update. UAB 7, Georgia 7, 12:40 to go, second quarter.
Okay. Trent Dilfer's got a little fear in him. Trent Dilfer's putting the fear in the dogs tonight, at least for 12 seconds.
If Baylor scores a touchdown in this drive and goes up 10-7, I may drive to Juarez before halftime.
Fair enough. We got a lot of football to go. 14 minutes in the second quarter. Here is Robertson again with a throw. That's a nice mid-level pass to the left side. Big first down for Baylor.
Tell you what, you need a lot of protection to make that throw. And Baylor did a good job of giving him a little bit of time there so that his receiver could run, a fairly that route and that getting to that play took some time to get there. It's the first time there's a little bit of pressure, but it's the first time we've really seen Baylor in the face of pressure, Robertson make a play. The one time they completed the pass before that, it was, kind of perfect situation, perfect pocket. Here they go trying to run the ball again. There's just nothing there. I mean, they're not going to run the ball on Texas if the first 16, 17 minutes of this game mean anything.
Yeah, well, that was the silliest version of it, too. Trying to run it all the way down the line of scrimmage. And big shock, number 41 for Texas ran that play down and stuffed it. Great job by Jalen Ford to get out there, stretch it out. That kind of run is not going to work for Baylor. I know the one straight forward hadn't worked much for him either, but that will not work tonight.
By the way, update in that Notre Dame-Ohio State game, 0-0. Ohio State got the ball all the way down to the Notre Dame 1, and 4th and 1, they couldn't punch it in. Now Notre Dame trying to get out of the deep end of their part of the field. 6:30 left in the second quarter, no points. Notre Dame has 112 yards. Ohio State's got like 92. A very defensive game in South Bend. Shocker.
Right. I like it. It in a way it is. That's good news for Ohio State because Hartman's not going crazy on them.
It's going to be 3rd and 13. It looks like we're going to have a pre-snap. It's going to be 3rd and 18.
Yep.
I don't know that I'm too worried about Baylor getting 7 on this drive.
Not at that point. Yeah.
I know I'm testing fate and I'm begging for one of these moments where I have egg on my face because this thing happens. But this actually is very similar to the first drive of the game. Baylor working third. They have to do a good job of managing down and distance well. We say that about Texas. And Baylor's not going to take any chances here. They were going to try to pick up a little bit of that, but it's an incomplete pass. Baylor receiver drops the ball. By the way, it's the first drop of the game, right?
That is the first drop, yeah, by either side. And now let's see what the field position looks like for Texas. The last time they got out of some pretty bad field position, were able to move it a little bit before they had to punt. Let's see what the Baylor punter can do to Texas here. This feels like a big swing kind of time. If Texas can make this, 14-3, that'd be a big, big deal here. Texas came after it a little bit, almost got there, but didn't. Here comes Xavier Worthy trying to get a punt return around the right side. Got it up to about the 20-25-yard line. So Texas will start in a pretty normal down and distance situation, or excuse me, normal field position situation. 12.5 second quarter, 7-3 Texas as they hit a TV commercial timeout. Once again, we shout out Pinthouse. Check out the great folks at Pinthouse, all locations, Longhorn games throughout the season. Make your plans. You wear your Longhorn gear. You see it right there at the top. $2 off pints when you wear that Longhorn gear. Also, Catch, you don't normally think of this word when you think of Pinthouse, but they got it cranked up now. They've got, and check out those codes as I talk about it, but they have a brunch going at the Ben White location. They have an electric jellyfish mimosa. Hello. Got to try that. The Nitro Bearded Seal Stout infused with cold brew and early gray tea syrup. That just sounds fancy. They have some other great craft beer cocktail options. So get out there. If you're recovering from your Saturday, it is a Sunday brunch at the Pinthouse location on Ben White. Fried green tomato eggs Benedict. How's that sound, Catch? I'm an eggs Benedict freak. I might have to try that. The fried green tomato eggs Benedict.
I'd like to tell you that that's my favorite. It's not.
Dude, I love me some eggs Benedict. I would love to try it. Look at that Sunday brunch. Look at that.
I want that burger is what I want.
Yeah, that's incredible. I'm not the biggest regular mimosa guy, the champagne and OJ, but if we're talking jellyfish and OJ, then that might be my kind of wake me up on a Sunday. Go check out that incredible brunch. They got some specials going for you there, and that's only at the Ben White location. 7-3 Texas, and we are just into the second quarter of the watch along.
By the way, Darwin, I'm sure you've already figured this out already, but who is number 17? Jamon Tapp is number 17. Number 17 on the field, number 1 in your heart.
Okay, there you go. Number 17.
By the way, it's kind of imperative that he started to make a move. He's not a major player on this defense yet, but he's a guy that I think needed to find a little bit of a niche in year 2. Start talking about out-of-state guys and not doing that by the time they get ready to enter their 3rd season. In 2023, that's a sign that a guy's probably on his way to the portal. So I had started, I would say in August, I had some questions like, man, is Tapp going to be one of those guys that goes somewhere else and plays well? And you wonder why? No. So far, he's the last couple of games, he started to play more on defense. Good for him. I mean, in 2023, by the time you hit this part of your 2nd season, you need to have a role, or, you start wondering about those types of things. So seeing 17 on the field there makes me, the more I see him more and more, and he's playing more and more, it's a sign that maybe he's starting to have the light switch come on. 1st and 10 for the Longhorns. Not good. I think the Bears get a sack. I need to see that again. Did they run a stunt on young DJ Campbell? What happened here? They just got a free rush.
Yep, free run right on the outside, and it looked like Gunnar Helm released for a pattern, and he just went right around Jones, and that's not Christian Jones' fault. Jones had his own job to do, and they just didn't block him.
No, Baylor was in a 4-man front, 2 on that right side. Both Campbell and Jones blocked their guys. Baylor got a free rush. Ewers didn't get rid of the ball fast enough. Although he got rid of the ball fast enough on this play. The Longhorns get it all back. Adonai Mitchell my dogs are excited. Dogs are the biggest Adonai Mitchell fans in the household, if I'm going to be completely honest.
That is nice. I like the aggression there, Catch. A lot of coaches would go into a cave on 2nd and 17. He went 5 wides and hit Mitchell across the middle. That was nice. And now do a little swing pass to the left to Jordan Whittington. That certainly had some good creativity to it. Now it feels like this Texas offense has a little bit of a rhythm, kind of like that other drive where they got it, the big play to Sanders after losing some yards. Now let's see if they can keep this rhythm going. It's a nice sequence on those last two.
Longhorns still going. Ooh. Look who they're getting involved early in this game compared to a week ago. Now we see Jatavion Sanders with another catch.
Oh,
so
man,
far, he's got 2. Sanders has 2, or excuse me, Mitchell with 2, Sanders with 2, Whitting with 2, Worthy with 2. All 4 of the big 4 guys in this passing game with 2 receptions. They're spreading the ball around early in this game. I'm still waiting for Texas to take a shot. This might be where we see it, Chad. They're at the 40. It's 1st and 10. It's time to put some pressure on this Baylor defense, although what Texas is doing right now is putting pressure on the Baylor defense. We see Brooks, who, if you missed it, has the touchdown on the board for the Longhorns in this game. He went 40 very early in this game. Longhorns now looking at a 2nd and 5, still doing the thing with the run game, depending on where they spot this. I thought his knee hit before he got to the first down marker, but he sure as hell ran with a hard forward lean.
Yeah, these are big
first down.
These are Big 12 officials. They're going to give that to him catch, just like they gave it to Sanders. I didn't think Sanders got to the line either. Big 12 officials already at least 3 times screwing up the line tonight.
Longhorns hurried up there almost like they didn't want to review. Like they ran that play. They ran with a lot of pace.
Yeah, you're right.
It didn't work for them. They gave the ball to Brooks. It's now 2nd and 9 after a 1-yard gain. Baylor hanging in there. Like it's I'm going to just keep saying it. It's critical at this point that Baylor hold the Longhorns at worst. Texas with the ball at their own at the Baylor 29. Baylor's got to get a stop here or this game is over. I'd like Texas now going no backs, little pump and fake. They look, ladies and gentlemen, we could have had a pick 6 on that play.
Yep, and it would have been really nice for Texas if Quinn Ewers had seen Jordan Whittington instead of trying to swing it out to a back. Whittington was cutting wide open across the middle, and Ewers was looking out at the back.
Well, it was a little pump and go. So he fakes the throw to the back. He looks down the field.
Yeah.
But I don't think he saw Sanders.
No, Whittington was wide open to me. At least by my eyes, it looked like 13 was wide open. He just missed. He just missed it.
It's 3rd and 9. Baylor getting pressure on Ewers. He scrambles out. Wow.
Nice job, Quinn.
Okay.
Nice job, Quinn Ewers. Wow.
That's amazing.
Quinn Ewers goes around the left side. He was just going to get the first down. And once he realized, well, I'm on the corner and there's nobody in green out here.
That's your ball game, going. Chad. If you're Baylor, that is the pathetic end of the ball game that you did not want to see. I thought the Baylor defense on this, I thought he stepped out of bounds.
He thought he was going to as well.
House.
That's incredible. That is incredible.
Quinn Vick.
That's it. Great play by Quinn Ewers. What did that go? Was that about a 40? About 40 yards?
29-yarder.
Say again?
I believe it was a 29-yard touchdown run. Remember, it was 3rd and 9 from the 29. Baylor was in a position to get off the field there and maybe make Texas take, a 47, 46-ish yard field goal. Instead, Quinn Ewers evades a little bit of pressure. Who sealed that block? I'll have to go back when they play that again. He gets around the edge.
He does. I want to say it was Whittington out there, but I may be wrong.
There were 2 Baylor defenders, the only 2 guys that could make a play. One guy just tried to make an arm tackle, and the other guy let himself get sealed by a wide receiver. Really good downfield blocking given the situation for the receiver to realize what was happening there and not scramble trying to find a space to run in. Turning into a blocker at that point allows for that play to happen. Longhorns now up 14-3. This game's over.
Somebody said,
over, period.
Somebody said it was Sanders that was out there on the block, and it may have been. If it is, just more good stuff from Ja'Tavion Sanders tonight. Catch, you brought it up earlier that they're getting him involved. And think of how they're getting him involved. He's got 2 catches for 22 yards, but neither of those plays were thrown for 11 yards. They threw a short. The second one might have been a run, technically. If we go back and look, I think he might have even thrown it either down or behind the line of scrimmage. Sanders did all of it. By my eyes, he got 9 full yards, and they gave him the 10, but he might have gotten there if I go back and look. That big train catch, it's got to be hard to bring down. They throw in short little routes and letting him use his athleticism. Just let that big freak get out there and dare somebody to tackle him. He's gotten 11 yards per play when they throw him the ball tonight. So big night for Sanders so far. Texas is doing exactly what we talked about them needing to do. Don't worry about going deep. Don't worry about taking all those big shots. Just body blow, body blow, body blow. And so far, it's working great.
That was a 9-play, 75-yard drive. Took 3:28 off the clock. There's now 9:07 remaining in the second quarter. Chad, I'm just telling you, that's ball game. And you and I haven't done many of these watch-alongs. I'm sure there will be a moment at some point this season when I do something silly like proclaim ball game. But all week long I've said once the Longhorns go up 2 scores on Baylor, I think Baylor's in some real trouble. It'll be interesting. Okay, I'm going to make you Dave Aranda. Now, you're not the offensive coordinator, but it's 14-3. There's 9:07 left to go. I think you're dangerously close to finding yourself out of this ball game. What are you doing on offense on this drive?
I mean, right now, if I'm Aranda, I'm not thinking of it as being out of this game. If they drive and kick a field goal, you're back to 1 score. I wouldn't worry. I'm not in worry mode yet. Another Texas score makes me worry. Another Texas touchdown specifically would make me worry. So I'm not in that area yet. I'd stick with what I'm doing. I asked Sawyer Robertson to make a couple throws. What I have to figure out a way to do, though, is I have to figure out a way to get my running backs to be a part of this football game. And I don't know how he does it because Baylor is at still, 11 carries for -2 yards.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, what are you doing on offense? Because
I think it's about
as calm as you want, but you're not at this point balanced on offense.
I think you go to a quick passing game and you involve your running backs. He's shown you he can make some good throws. A little bit, that deep one was great, but he's shown you can make some pretty good throws too. I would involve the running backs in the passing game and let Sawyer Robertson hit a couple balls and then try to loosen up a run game. But that's the worst.
I feel like this thing's going to be 21-3 with 4 minutes to go in this half.
The play they just ran is the kind of stuff I would run. It was a combination there. They tried a little pass out to the right off of a rollout. The throw wasn't beautiful, and the receiver was bad together. He threw a ball that was a little low, and it got dropped. So technically, I'd call that a drop. That wasn't a beautiful throw.
It was a drop. It was absolutely a drop.
That's a drop.
Baylor's second drop of the game.
Yeah, that's not the pass he wanted to throw, but it needed to be caught. So that's the kind of stuff I would do right there. That would have got him 8 yards catch. That was a play that was open for an 8-yard gain, and they just missed it. So
nice
that's what they have
Baron
to do.
Sorrell there. That actually was a run play that might have been close for a first down, and Sorrell playing down the line of scrimmage. It looked like they left him unblocked, and it took an athletic play by Sorrell to get there. Now it's 3rd and 7. That's what I'm talking about. So now Baylor's facing 3rd and 7. Now, I think, now we're talking critical 3rd downs because you can't be going 3 and out, down 14-3, kicking off, punting to an offense that's starting to find some rhythm. Baylor's going to try to get this thing running the football, and they had no chance. No.
Ladies and gentlemen, the transfer portal pays off for Texas.
Hello.
How about that from Jalen Catalon?
That is the first time we've seen Jalen Catalon this season really come down and just smoke someone.
Catch, as a fan of fans been watching a lot of SEC football these last decade plus, that one smelled like pork. That's what he did when he wore the Arkansas uni. that when he was healthy with Arkansas, that's what it looked like. That's big time. Great play by Catalan, forces the punt, and now it really feels like this game is swinging Texas's way. They have a chance to throw the hammer here if they can get something. How about Worthy trying a punt return? 30, 40, 45, midfield, drag down at the other 45.
That's the second week in a row he's almost had one. That one was a little peculiar because the ball's bouncing around.
Yeah.
I think he was going to call a fair catch, but then the ball starts bouncing, and there was a huge – I mean, the field was wide open. Yeah. I almost thought he was taking that to the house. By the way, Ohio State, Notre Dame –
yes.
Ohio State should have had a touchdown on a touchdown pass to Egbuka, and he just didn't catch it. It should have been a touchdown. I don't know even what's going on in that game other than it's 0-0 and Ohio State with a chance. They're looking at a review here, but he dropped the shit out of that ball. They ruled it a touchdown. I mean, he did. The ball it's the most obvious the ball hit the ground on a review that I've seen in 5 years. This was so obviously not a touchdown. The Big 12 officiating crew has moved itself to the Big 10.
Wow.
Although these ACC officials, yes, they overruled that. It was not a touchdown catch. It's going to be 40 seconds to go. Anyway, enough of the Notre Dame, Ohio State stuff.
I've got a couple other score updates real quick. Halftime scores. Washington State up 28-14 on Oregon State, and nice. Arkansas up 13-10 on LSU at half.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah, I saw somebody in the chat say LSU was overrated, so Arkansas up in the Golden Boot game. That's kind of interesting. As far as the Big 12, fellas, how about these? Halftime, Houston 24-7. It was Sam Houston up early, but then Houston's controlling it now. Kansas State's up 13-10 on UCF, their early second quarter. And for those that missed it, Iowa State finished off Oklahoma State 34-27.
That's such a big game in the Big 12, and I haven't cared at all.
What, the K-State game?
Yeah, you just read that score, and I was like, oh, yeah, that game's going on.
Yeah, it was 10-7 at the end of that first quarter. UCF and Kansas State has come back now to get a score there. Will Howard has thrown an interception, but he also has 115 yards passing in the game. And, again, like Ketch talked about and Blake talked about, that the Notre Dame-Ohio State game is going on. Interesting, that Washington State score. Some statements today, Ketch, from Pac-12 teams, man. Oregon made the statement they needed to against Colorado. Feels like they're primed to maybe move up in the rankings. Washington State obviously doing well, like Blake just said. And Utah, you say what you want about that team, man. They've got injury after injury, problem after problem, and all they do is just beat people. They made UCLA look completely inept today and beat them 14-7. I mean, it was a old school, like Big 8 style kind of game, and Utah looked perfectly comfortable in it. All
right, Chad, let me get this
pretty wild
before it happens. This is going to be where they take the shot.
This is it.
I mean, I'm just saying it is the perfect. It's 1st and 10.
It really is a good spot.
The ball's on the 42.
Trick play. Worthy going to throw it. Worthy taking the shot to Sanders. Great catch by Jatavian Sanders.
They took their shot. It just wasn't with Quinn Ewers.
Man, this may end up being a story of the night kind of thing. Texas is so good right now. That play didn't technically work like they wanted it to, and it's still 1st and goal on the 6 or whatever. 4 targets, 57 yards for Jatavian Sanders. This just in, he's good.
He's really good. And now you're looking at 1st and goal, touchdown. CJ Baxter, Chad, ball game.
Yeah, if it wasn't before, it is now. I mean, them chasing 18 is going to be really, really tough. 3 full touchdowns. It's what you talked about, 2 full touchdowns this week. This is 3 full touchdowns. This is where Texas is doing what I talked about earlier in the week. This is going to make everybody else turn the TV off or never get to this game. That's exactly what I thought Texas needed to do.
Every TV in the country that was on ABC,
correct,
is now going to Ohio State and Notre Dame, although it's halftime there. So, or it's almost halftime. So maybe you're actually going to get
Washington
A
State.
little bit of eyeballs on this. Maybe people are watching Arkansas, LSU. The bottom line is,
no, see, that's the one. That's the one. It's LSU that's slipping right now, and that's who people are going to watch. They'll go to that game, the Notre Dame game when it comes back. Texas is now threatening to have everybody just turn away, except you, me, and all the hardcore Texas fans.
we're going to have a good time on the watch along. We may start cursing to entertain you.
Hey, I may go after some alcohol if this keeps up. I may
You know what? 21-8, we'll do a little rogue celebration hit here while we can.
You could do that. I might go find a Pinthouse beer. I got some Scorpion Disco in the house. I could go grab a Scorpion Disco for the second half.
Do it, man. Do it. By the way,
Might do it.
Xavier Worthy has a 394 quarterback rating.
I've always told you, Catch, they need to have him throw the ball a lot more. I've told you he's a perfect passer. It's really great. He put that ball in a spot. Let's please give Ja'Tavion Sanders extra freak points on that one. Catch, that's a tight end that went and adjusted to a ball in the air and went and made a pretty tough catch on the sideline.
That was a really tough catch.
I mean, that's a tough ball to bring down. That's not how they practiced it. I guarantee you it looked different when they ran through it, but you were absolutely right. Just like last week you predicted the pick six, this time you predicted the shot. It was aggressive, it was creative, and they took their shot. They'd softened them up with all the stuff before. They nailed them with that long one. Now, the answer to your question from earlier about Aranda, now I have no clue. I don't know what you do if you're Dave Aranda other than try to mitigate the coming damage. Because
they come into this game surely not wanting Robertson to have to do it all on his own. But now, I mean, look, now they're caught between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah. Okay. This Paul $4.99 super chat. Y'all are crazy. And ask whooping a Baylor, and your commentary will always be entertaining. We appreciate that. We appreciate
Thank you, Paul.
That.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, no. Trust me. If this keeps up, this is going to be fun because the last time these two are getting together, and this could be the way it goes. Are you kidding?
Yes, Nick. I'll get you Worthy's PFF passing chart next week.
It's got to be good. You know what, Catch? What have we said about Worthy's pass chart? Loves the deep left.
He loves throwing it deep and left.
Outside the numbers, left. That's where he likes to go. That's such good stuff, man. Obviously, Ewers gets the ball out there like he needed to, but it's so much fun to watch freaky football players just be freaky. And Xavier Worthy and Ja'Tavion Sanders might be about as freaky as Texas has. And to watch them both get to show off a little on that play is very, very cool. So that and Catch, this is where the personality of Sark, I bet this is where Baylor really has to watch out, because now he probably takes a breath like he hit a shot. This is what he loves to do, right? We joke about it a little bit, but it's true. He wants to take those shots every play. Now that he hit one, it results in a touchdown a play later. Now does Sark really start to get in a crazy little rhythm and start pulling out toys later in this game? Because it's 7 minutes to go second quarter, and now he's up 3 full touchdowns.
By the way, was that C.J. Baxter's first career touchdown run?
Yes, because that big run against Rice was not a touchdown, and then he went out, and then
Cool for
Congrats
him.
to Baxter. No, it's been a great night all the way around so far. How about this number? 12 carries, 92 yards. That's 7.7. Baylor is averaging 0.1 yards a carry. Texas has done even better than earlier when Baylor was at 0.4. So
I tell you what, though, Chad, just on another thought, like, we talk about the nation turning away from this game. This is on big ABC, though. So, you are going to get some eyeballs just by the fact that you're on network TV tonight. And this isn't an ESPN game. It's ABC large. And, I think if Texas just boat races Baylor, how much of a boost will Texas get? Probably not that much, but I think the nation will be impressed. I think they're watching a Texas team dismantle a Baylor team that did play well against Utah at home a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. The question is, before halftime, can Baylor – you can feel it coming, Chad. I'm telling you. You can feel it coming. We almost saw a sack on that play. My God, who was that? 23. Ooh, 33. David Benda closed that ball down, closed Robertson down.
Yeah,
like he was mad at him. And now it's 3rd and 10. So now it's his second drive in a row that you're probably trying to quicken the pace up. You're probably trying to think about, let's move it in the passing game. It didn't help on the last drive that you had a drop. By the way, we listen all week long to Texas fans complain about drops. Baylor's got 2. Texas so far, none in this game.
There's a good.
Oh, I tell you what, nice play. I tell you what, Keytron Jackson is having a nice first half. He's the only guy for Baylor in this game that looks like he could play for Texas.
Yeah, and the other guy just flat dropped a ball earlier. That ball was nicely thrown too. He threw right where he needed to. You're right. Jackson's playing well. $2 super chat from Blake. Do we see Murphy or Arch at this rate? At this rate, yes. At this rate, absolutely. We'll see if this rate keeps up, but yeah.
Baylor got a first down on that play. So, I mean, hey, baby steps.
Yeah.
They have to get 7 on this drive. And if you're Baylor, you'd like to take most of this quarter. There's 6 minutes to go. I'm not quite sure that that's going to happen. But, you know, like baby steps, if you're Baylor, Texas is on the verge of like blowing the doors off of this Baylor team. Because here's the thing, Chad. Texas is not done scoring points tonight.
No, I was just about to say, if I'm a Texas fan right now, I'd feel real comfy. Obviously, you want 1,000,000-3, but I'd really dig 28-3 at the half at this point. I would really dig that score.
Texas feels like a team that's headed for the 40s, maybe even high 40s. And Baylor, I mean, that's what they're up against right now, is almost the idea that they're chasing not even 21 right now. Right. They're chasing what they're ultimately going to need. And I think that's what changes play callers. I think it's not, hey, let's get this to 21-10. It's the anxiety of what kind of ball game you're in. Now it's 3rd and 4. Baylor ran a really nice, smart pass play earlier. How many more of these really cute plays not there? It's going to be 4th and 2. Chad, what do you do? It's 4th and 2. The ball's at the 46-yard line. You're down 21-3. Looks like they're going for it.
Yeah, you got to go here. You got to go. And then if you're Texas here, I think this is also just about how much attention the Texas defense is still, how focused are they still? They got to feel like they're controlling this whole thing.
I don't even know what play you call here, but I'm not running the ball on 4th and 2 here.
No, it's a short pass. It's got to be a short pass.
You're going to try to hit the tight end in the flat? No, they're going fullback. Good God. Dave Aranda maybe should be fired for that call.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. I wouldn't go that far, but that's a bad idea. Yeah, they should have thrown the ball there. It's a good play by the Texas defense. Now what you have a chance to do is get that complimentary football going, because if your defense
certainly horrible play call.
Yeah, that's awful. That is definitely awful. Great job by the Texas defensive front. Got great push on that play.
Sweat, awesome on that play.
Sweat just awesome. Yeah. So now you have a chance. If your defense lets down a little bit, then the clock's going to run a little more. Maybe you don't get a shot at a touchdown drive. Now you got over 4 minutes left to go after my goal of 28-7, and you're just beyond midfield. Texas with a great opportunity to make it 28 here.
Ewers throwing his first vertical ball, and
just missed that one. I was trying to go to Sanders there too. He just threw to Sanders in double coverage, by the way.
Well, and his feet were sloppy on that play. I'm not going to be critical of Quinn on a game where they're winning by 3 scores, but sometimes Quinn throws the football and you just want to shake him and say, do the good quarterback thing. Get your feet set, throw into the ball. He just kind of flicked it that time. And sometimes when he flicks. He can do that, Chad.
Yeah, that's the next play, straight up the seam, Gunner Helm. Nice catch by Helm, by the way. As much as was talked about that play last week, that's a Gunner Helm play right there. Up the seam and catch. He's got to make this catch knowing he's going to get popped, and he did. He didn't quite get high load, but 2 guys hit him. Nice job by Helm there.
Haven't talked a lot about this Texas offensive line tonight. That's usually a good thing, right?
That's always good. Yep.
No penalties?
They've not been sloppy.
No penalties, and I think really the only negative play, and you'd have to put that on Ewers more than the offensive line, is when Baylor brought 3 on the left side, to their left on that right side of that offensive line, and Baylor got a sack, and it wasn't like you could blame the Texas offensive line. I'm sorry.
Wow.
So, Jonathan
Holy
Brooks.
Smokes.
Jonathan Brooks.
Wow.
Jonathan Brooks leads the team in drops, and he just went like one-handed, batted along the sideline. Of course he made that catch.
Nothing ever makes up for a drop, but Quinn Ewers threw the ball. I thought he overthrew him.
I thought he was throwing it out of bounds.
With my naked eye, I thought he overthrew him, and Jonathan Brooks makes a one-handed catch while staying in bounds on the sideline and then got a good gain out of it, and it's 1st and goal because of it. That's a great play by 24.
It's 1st and goal. Longhorns throw into Worthy. What was that? Yeah, it was pass interference.
That's PI. Yeah.
Here's the dangerous thing, Chad. Texas is about to go up 28-3 because this ball is going to be placed at the 1.
Yep.
There's too much time left for Baylor. They need to get to the locker room.
They do. Yeah, no, they're staring right. Right now, they are staring right down the barrel of certainly 28-3, maybe even 31 or 35-3 by the time it's all said and done. I mean, this really has a chance. I mean, my God, if you got it to 31-3, you're talking 4 full touchdowns by halftime, and Aranda really has that look. Aranda looks like he needs a burger now. I
Texas
guarantee you.
lining up in a power formation. They want to run this ball in, and they did. Steve Sarkisian is going to love that. Jonathan Brooks into the end zone. What a night Jonathan Brooks is having, by the way. Steve Sarkisian loves C.J. Baxter. He called C.J. Baxter his lead back on Monday.
Yeah.
Jonathan Brooks is performing like a lead back right now. An unbelievable first half for Jonathan Brooks, doing it a little bit every kind of way you could imagine. He's running the ball well. He is the catch that ultimately sets up that touchdown will go on his season highlight film at the end of the year. He's not talking to his teammates about the run into the end zone.
Nope.
He's telling them, I told you I could catch that ball. Throw it to me.
Well, I tell you what, Catch, if you're right, if Sark is right and C.J. Baxter is the lead back of this team, I got great news for Texas fans. Your backup running back is averaging 7.4 a carry, and he's got 2 touchdowns and made a one-handed catch. So
he's telling them right now, I did that easily. Like, I had it the whole time. You just get it in my area, and if it's within my reach, I'll tap it back to me. Because if you go back and look at that play, he really tapped it to himself. He reaches up with his right hand, but he didn't just snag it out of the air. He kind of scooped it into his body and brought it in with his reverse hand, his right hand. It was a great play. Honestly, that Jonathan Brooks reception, that might be like a top 5 play for me of the first third of the season so far. The degree of difficulty on that, just to make the catch, was really high. And then, to pull the ball down, to convert the third, I think that was a third down, if I'm not mistaken. So to move the chains and get Texas into a position. By the way, I like seeing Dusty Dvorak have to call Texas just whooping somebody's ass.
That is good. Texas fans have to enjoy that. Did I see that total yardage right? 255 to 96.
It's a lot to a little. And I'm telling you right now, if you're Baylor,
97. You
need to run the ball here and see and like, who cares how many yards you pick up?
Yeah.
See if Sark will let the clock run.
Yeah.
And they're going to pass it, and they gained a yard and stayed in bounds. I'm curious, how aggressive is Sarkisian? He's going to wait before he uses any of his timeouts. He's going to see what happens on this second down. But if Baylor if Baylor runs it here, and if I'm Baylor, I'm using the entire clock. They're running up here with some pace. I guess, they're still trying to stay in this game. I'm just saying, if you're Baylor, you don't want this thing to be 35-3. He runs out of bounds. It's going to set up 3rd and 5. The clock stops.
Yeah. No,
Baylor's not – look, I guess they're doing the competing thing right now. But it's up to the coach to do the smart thing. This game is over. Look, part of me is thinking Rocky IV when Duke is yelling at Rocky, throw the goddamn towel, Rock. Like, that's what I feel like we're watching. It's 3rd and 5. They don't convert this. It's going to be 35-3 in like 3 minutes. And the thing is, we also haven't seen Baylor commit the awful turnover yet.
Right.
And we could be on the verge of one of those fairly soon. So they complete pass. Nice job. Derek Williams, the young freshman, coming in and, making a play on the ball.
Yep, close to PI, but it wasn't called. By the way, whatever was bothering Sawyer Robertson before the game, it's bothering him again. He's got a little bit of
he's going to start holding everything here.
He's got a little bit of a limp going as he's coming off the field.
I think it's time for Martinez to play. By the way, it might have been time for Martinez to play anyway.
Yeah, you might be right about that. Baylor's
about to get their back broken.
Baylor's punting, and Texas is going to have a lot of time. Now, the question is, where do they get the ball here? Oh, fumble
Xavier,
on the punt.
Come on, man.
Xavier Worthy just fumbled the punt. Baylor covers at the 21-yard line.
That does not count as a drop pass.
Wow, that is true. That is true on the stat sheet.
For the record.
Man, oh, man.
It does count as a drop, fair catch. He called a fair catch. I don't know what. Why would he even – he took his eyes off the ball, but why would you?
By the way, good to see John Lynch, NFL Hall of Famer, on the Super Chat. $5. I haven't felt this way watching the Horns since 2009. It's so different. Can't get enough of it. Yes, John, it's
I'll tell you what, there haven't been a lot of maulings of Baylor. So, all right. So, look, sudden change. This is where Sark is going to judge his defense in this first half. This is okay. Adversity has occurred. They've got the ball at the Texas 21-yard line. They have to get 7 points. So, he'll challenge his defense, and so will Pete Kwiatkowski. He'll say, guys, don't you dare let them into the end zone.
Ooh, there they are again, Catch. I'm going to tell you what, if you're in a dark alley and David Benda and Jalen Ford are coming at you, you're in trouble. Those two guys as a tandem are great.
David Benda has topped Alex Dunlap's productivity chart going into this game, and that will not change based on what's happened on the first 30 minutes of action tonight. I'll check real quick and take a peek. But he and Ford together having a really good game. Baylor throwing it.
Yeah, incomplete.
Not having a lot of luck. So here we are now. It's 3rd and 8. Ball's at the 19. Yeah, I suppose if Texas gets a stop here, Baylor will take the field goal. They really need 7, though. A field goal is an absolute win for the Texas defense. Should they be able to force that? There's still 55 seconds to go.
I guess the way I think about it here, Catch, if you're Baylor, like whatever you're about to get here, assuming you get some kind of points, they're free because you just got handed that turnover. So does he take the 3 points? We'll see about 3rd and 8 here first. But
Texas hasn't had a sack in the entire quarter. They're not going to get one there. They're also not going to get a touchdown. Yeah. It was there.
It was there. Robertson overthrew him. That's the first really bad ball he's thrown tonight.
Well, he's pressured, so it's a difficult throw because he's moving forward and throwing while on the run.
They're going to try the field goal.
They are. They have to. It's 4th and 8. I mean, Texas gave you 3 points on this Xavier Worthy turnover. You have to take the 3. It doesn't change anything in this game.
Great job by the defense.
The Longhorns will really good sudden change.
Yeah, completely unfair to the defense, right? But that's what it's about. That's what the defenses get faced with sometimes. That's totally unfair to do to them. I know Xavier Worthy has to feel terrible that he stuck them with it, but then they did what they're supposed to do. They just held 28-6. So now you got to – now it depends on how you want to handle it. You still have your 3 timeouts depending on this kick return. If you get one, depending on a first play or two, you go after this field goal here, Catch?
Yes.
I would too.
I mean, because Texas hasn't been in a lot of 2-minute drills so far this season. So
I agree. It's a good chance to try
an opportunity to like practice the thing that you practice. By the way, where putting the quarterback chart up right now. 11 of 14 for Ewers, 123, 24 rushing yards, 1 touchdown, 0 turnovers. He's taken very good care of the ball. Both of these quarterbacks have. I mean, it really hasn't been a sloppy game from the quarterback position. Yes, if you're Texas, I think even if there's a touchback here and they're starting at the 25, if it's me, I'm going to be aggressive here because it's an opportunity to work on the thing that you haven't had a chance to work on a lot this season. By the way, Baylor's had a lot. Baylor's had 8 drives. They've had 3 and outs and 2 other drives that went 4 plays. So of their 8 drives, 5 of them have gone 4 plays or less.
Wow, that's impressive. Let's see if this offense can be impressive to close the door here.
Now you might run the ball here if you're Sark because you don't want Ewers to throw the ball, turn it. I'm caught between one of 2 places. I want to be aggressive, but I'm also wary of Ewers. Not that the terms of this game change. Keep in mind, Texas gets the ball to start the 3rd quarter. So you don't have to be overly aggressive. But if there's any time in this entire game where I'm like, you know what? This game's over. If we do something stupid, though, and give them 7, I think it's still over. But you're going into halftime, and it's like, okay, it is a little different. Longhorns now, 35 seconds to go. They're going to face a 3rd and 6. Baylor's got timeouts left. They're being aggressive.
Yeah, I'm about to say that Sark's not going to be thinking like that at all. He was going to be aggressive. I love the play to Sanders. Left side, outside the numbers, Jatavian Sanders, like out wide. You have to deal with that. That was a great play. Ewers just didn't throw a great ball to Mitchell on the next play. Let's see what 3rd and 6 is.
No, you're exactly right. It just wasn't a good throw.
Feels aggressive, though. Here's an empty set. This is 5 receivers in the set here.
And they're going to get a sack.
Yeah, Ewers scrambles, and he thought it was time to go, and it just wasn't anything there.
That's okay. I mean, I honestly, you'd rather him take the sack in that. Boy, DJ Campbell wants a piece of number 2 for Baylor.
Uh-huh. And I think, is that Dave Aranda that just called timeout, maybe? Is that what
Absolutely.
I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
They called timeout there, right? Yeah, there it is.
And I guess if you're Baylor on this, come after it.
Sure.
I mean,
try to get something.
Bring 11 because there's not really enough time for this. Baylor, if they get the ball back with like 22, 23 seconds, they get it inside the 25. I think they're just going to run the ball. So the chance for Baylor to make something happen is now.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
They're showing these stats. It's crazy that Baylor leads 80-28-4 all time. Like that, it's a 500 series essentially since 2010.
Right. You just said
wild.
You just said Baylor leads the series. Texas.
Texas leads the series.
Yeah.
Looks like they're going to set up the return here. Yeah, they're not coming after it. Maybe they think they can get better field position than I do. It's a really good punt. It's going to be 1st and it's kind of what I just said. 1st and 10 at the 25. They're in greater danger of something horrible happening than they are, I think, making something happen here. So if you're Baylor, I know you've taken the timeout. I think you run the football here. If you bust a little 10, 15-yard play and you can get out to the 40, then you probably use your last time out and try to be aggressive and see if you can get a little something beyond that. But yep. I'm terrified. If I'm a Randa, I'm terrified of something disastrous happening on literally this play.
Yep.
And I would just be conservative and realize where this game is. What you don't want is the turnover. And it didn't happen, Chad.
It almost did.
It almost did.
Yeah, I don't know if either Jahdae Barron or Jalen Ford was going to have an easy path to the end zone, but one of them almost had a tip interception.
I mean, it was yet another drop. Now, look, seriously, if you're Baylor, run the ball.
Yeah, this needs to be just a belly handoff. I don't understand why. Yeah. After that, I'd go ahead and you just run
now,
it.
Look, on some level, I can applaud the aggressiveness, but sometimes you don't be aggressive for the sake. And look, if you're going to throw a pass, that's a nice, safe one. They pick up 5 yards, 6 yards on second down. It sets up third down. But look what you're doing. There's 13 seconds to go in the half, and you're trying to nickel. You're not nickel and dime. You're like nickel and penny in your way down the field. Penny and nickels. That's what that is.
Right.
Just, I guess you have to act like you're trying to win the game, but you also have to be smart. And I think he's going to run the ball here, but we'll see.
Yeah. So far, to me, they haven't done anything reckless with Robertson in the past game. So maybe that's what he's thinking. Like, so far, he hasn't done anything too silly.
All right. Well, so now you're going to use your final timeout, right?
Yeah. Use a timeout. And now you're going to try, let's see, that was the last one. So you really have to.
You got to go for it here.
You're going for either can you get out of bounds somewhere on the sideline and get you a field goal, or do you just have to chunk one up here?
By the way, we need to reset this. That almost could have been a pick six. I mean, it's what you practice on the tip. The tip drill is that play.
Oh yeah, yeah. And it wasn't necessarily anything Texas did other than being in decent position for it. But yeah, receiver dropped the ball.
Anybody made a play on the ball. It was a drop pass that pops up behind the receiver.
Was that 3 in the first half? Would you give Baylor 3 drops in the half?
Yes, that's their third. They've had 3 drops in the first half.
Yep, it has been sloppy in that regard.
By the way, we can talk about this at halftime. I do want to have a conversation about Dave Aranda's job security. I think he would be safe, but I have seen some Baylor people today online on Twitter. Not that that's necessarily, a thing that anybody needs to get to, like, oh, what are they saying on Twitter? Like, that doesn't determine everything. By the way, we're now at halftime. Nice play.
There it is.
There it is. Anthony Hill making a nice play. Baylor didn't do anything stupid there. They also did not try to score.
No.
What was that?
They did.
You called a timeout with 8 seconds left, down 28-6, and you run that play?
I would have at least run number 11, Jackson, who's played pretty well. Run him down the sideline again, see if you can get something, right?
Well, they didn't. They didn't get something.
No.
I tell you what, let's and technically what I'm looking at, so they've now had, that was their 9th drive of the first half. 6 of those 9 drives, and this last one comes with a little bit of an asterisk, obviously. The half ended. But 6 of the 9 drives were 4 plays or less.
Wow. Okay. That's impressive.
That is impressive. It means that Texas is getting Baylor off the field. It's a lot of drives I wouldn't have guessed that Baylor would have had 8 drives in that half. Given how the Wyoming game played out last week, where it was like, oh God. I think there were 2 quarters where Texas, I think in the second and the third, they only had a couple of drives in both. And it was just like, this game's just going by fast. And ultimately, all right, Chad, grade that Texas half.
Because
Longhorns are up 28-6 on you're ranked 3rd in the country in playing a half-ass rivalry goodbye game on the road, you're giving Texas what grade in that half?
So far, I mean, it's at least like, I'd say B+ to an A probably right now. If you finish that half and it was 31-3 or 35-3, I'd absolutely give you an A or an A+. Dropping that punt, giving up the field goal. I'll say, well, it probably averages it out to about an A. The fact that time of possession doesn't matter because you're scoring. It's 3 of, what's that number? 3 of 11 for Baylor on third down. You're controlling that. I mean, everything's clicking. Defense is looking great. You've gotten some of your offensive studs going. You got the run game going. You're not letting them run. I mean, it'd be an absolute A without that little hiccup. So it's like I'd give it like an 88 or an 89 probably if I have to give it an exact grade. What about you?
Maybe I'm a homer. I'm not even going to give them an A-. The only thing keeping them from an A+ is the Worthy turnover on special teams. But if we look at the raw stats, let's go through the players real quick. Well, if you look at it right now, Texas is on pace for nearly 500 yards of offense. Mm-hmm. They throw for 161. They run for 95. So offensively, no turnovers. Ewers goes 12 of 16 for 126, completing 75% of his passes, which is actually that's an uptick for him. The rating's not great, 141.2, but that's because he doesn't have a touchdown. Right. There are no turnovers. Ja'Tavion Sanders bounces back, has a big first half, 4 for 61.
Hey, let's stay right there, Catch. The two receivers we talk about Texas needing to get the ball to are Sanders and Whittington, correct? In addition to Worthy?
Yes.
Look at the yak yards added together. Yeah. That's stupid. 28 and 22. My God.
Well, that's and crazy. Look, on top of that, Texas is averaging 6.3 yards per rush right now. That includes a couple of Quinn Ewers sacks. Mm. So the sacks, the yards per rush right now is really good. But you got Brooks averaging 7 yards a carry. You've got Baxter averaging 5.5. Combine those two guys together, and you're talking about 74 yards on 11 carries.
Yeah.
So, really hard to nitpick at all the Texas offense. Texas defense plays pretty well. I mean, again, what are the negatives of that half? Oh, Texas boy says it's 420 somewhere. Okay, hey. Okay. I don't know when you said that because I'm behind on the chat, so I need to catch up.
I like it. 420 somewhere. I see what you're doing there.
Not only I'm going to take a little hit, but I'm warming it up so it's an even better hit.
Ooh, I like the warming up. Speaking of warming things up, can I get a bathroom break / get me a Pinthouse beer break? Can I get that for halftime?
Yeah, why don't you just go do your thing for a little bit? I'll talk some Texas stats.
Okay.
Who knows? When you get back, maybe I'll let you. By the way, Ohio State, is this ball game in South Bend? They just scored a touchdown.
Uh-oh.
It's now 9-0 pending the extra point, but Notre Dame has not been doing a lot on offense. Chad, why don't we take Chad off?
Okay, I'll be right back.
Your bathroom break.
Right back.
I'll keep doing stats. Anyway, I will acknowledge Ohio State scoring there on the touchdown. Let's go back through the numbers again. Quinn Ewers, 12 of 16 for 126. 75% completion percentage. That's a good number for him. I mean, part of what Ewers, if you were going to nitpick his performances through the first quarter of the season, his completion percentage and his adjusted completion percentage. So when you add in the drops and give him credit for those, way below elite standards so far this season. That 75%, like you can live with Quinn. Now, the one thing they haven't had, that's still not good from an adjusted completion percentage. You'd like to see him get over 80, but 75 is definitely an improvement for where he's been. To give you some context, both against Wyoming and Rice, below 70% In the Alabama game, he was at 75% for the game. So this performance, solid right now from Quinn Ewers. From a receiving standpoint, Sanders has got 4 for 61. I need to look and see how Brock Bowers is doing tonight, because Georgia has not been able to get him going. And you could see Ja'Tavion Sanders legitimately competing for first-team All-America honors if he can keep putting up the numbers that were not last week, but certainly what we're seeing tonight. Adonai Mitchell, 2 for 33. Jordan Whittington, 2 for 19. Xavier Worthy, 2 of 10, or 2 for 10. They haven't been able to get Xavier Worthy on track, although he did earn the pass interference call that set up the Jonathan Brooks touchdown run to make it 28-6. Jonathan Brooks, 1 for 18, the 1 catch, an absolute beaut. Gunnar Helm, 1 of 16. CJ Baxter, 1 of 4. As I mentioned, rushing, Jonathan Brooks, 9 for 63 and 2 touchdowns on his way, depending on how long they keep the starters. Texas could have 2 drives in the third quarter and be done, and then it could be Maalik Murphy time, which, if that were to be the case, maybe we'd even see Arch Manning before the end of the game. What Arch Manning has been dreaming of his entire life. Blake, can you imagine Arch Manning when he was a child growing up in Louisiana thinking to himself, sure would be awesome to make my first career college appearance in Waco, Texas.
He's been dreaming of McLean Stadium catch, dreaming of it all these
Arch
nights.
is like, Archie is they got the whole family together. This is what we've been waiting for. Texas v. Baylor. Arch is going to get on the field. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see how this third quarter goes, if it affords the Longhorns the ability maybe to play the backup and then the backup to the backup. We'll see. By the way, Ryan Sanborn, 3 for 129 in the first half. That's a 43-yard average and a long of 49. Had 1 inside the 20. No field goals. Texas let's look at this Texas defense. Jalen Ford, 6 tackles in the first half, leading the team with a tackle for loss. David Benda, Tavondre Sweat, Ryan Watts, Anthony Hill Jr., all with 3 tackles apiece. Jet Bush with 2 and a sack. Byron Murphy with 2 tackles and a sack. By the way, they did not give Michael Taft. They must have called that a no gain. I'm convinced that Michael Taft had a sack in the first quarter, and they just called that a rush for no gain. I wonder if later on they go back and adjudicate that and give him a sack, at least the Texas defensive coaches, when it's all said and done. Vernon Broughton had a sack, 3 sacks for the Longhorns in the first half, 6 tackles for loss. Xavier Worthy averaged 16 yards per punt return, Chad, but did drop the ball on 1 and turn it over. The only turnover in the game. Longhorns will get the ball to start the third quarter. And Chad, I think it's as simple as this. You're Texas, you get the ball to start the third quarter, go down the field, score a touchdown. 3 and out for Baylor. Get the ball to the offense, score a touchdown, get the backups in the game. You got bigger fish to fry.
All right, hang on. You said after 1 touchdown or 2?
2.
I agree with you. You got to get into
42-3, 42-6, whatever.
Get into the 40s, and I agree with you. Not field goals, touchdowns.
Yeah, and let your backup quarterback throw the ball a little bit.
Yep.
If you're going to need him later in the season for any reason, don't look back and say, well, we didn't throw the ball against Baylor because we wanted to be respectful. Shit. You're never going to see them again.
Yeah, right. Well, and also
your backup quarterback some throws in the game.
Well, also catch, it's because you missed that opportunity. I mean, you got a little bit of Murphy in the Rice game, but the Rice and Wyoming games didn't play out to the point where you did that the way you wanted to. So now you got to kind of think of it a little differently. All right, we got a super chat here, $9.99. South End Zone Queen. I'm not sure what that other sound was. I want to see Maalik Murphy come in because it's a blowout. I want to see Johntay Cook with a touchdown. I'd like that. Watching from my call room in Colorado. Football without cocktails is too much anxiety. Hook 'em, LFG.
You think
All
they
right.
let her smoke in Colorado?
I don't know. I don't have a cocktail, but I did find a Pinthouse beer.
South End Zone Queen from your keyboard to God's ears. Let's see some Maalik. Let's see Johntay Cook. Let's see the young guys play. Texas will need to take care of business, though, in the third quarter. You know, Tom G's letting me know that Bowers just scored on a long touchdown. That's bad for first-team All-America honors for Jatavion Sanders. Good, though, for my season prize picks, where I've got Bauer. Oh, he's got 6 for 97. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Good game for Brock Bowers. It's 28-14, Georgia over UAB at the half.
Okay.
Does it just kind of make you, Chad, go,
You said 28-14 or 20-14?
28-14.
28-14. Okay. Yeah, they may pull away. By the way, here at the half catch, let's give Pinthouse some love. Look at that beautiful can.
It's a beautiful can.
They got beautiful cans. I got the Yakima Sun Club behind me. This is Scorpion Disco. They call it a West Coast IPA. So we'll say this is for the Pac-12 teams that looked good today. And also catch for those folks that, how do I say this cleverly? For those folks that do believe that it's 420 somewhere, this is a beer that has a little bit more of an earthy finish. Oh. And I'm told if you are into such things, that this is a beer you'll enjoy. So if you're that type of person, Scorpion Disco might be for you. Pretty tasty.
Here's some other scores from around the country. Third quarter score, almost in the fourth quarter. It's LSU 24, Arkansas 16.
Okay, LSU
Arkansas with the football driving. 35-14, Washington State over Oregon State.
Go ahead, Cougars.
Seriously.
Nice.
In the battle of the Pac-2.
The Pac-2, the We're Not Wanted Bowl.
Florida 19-7 over Charlotte. I mentioned the Georgia score. It's Ohio State 10, Notre Dame 0. Penn State's up over Iowa in another battle of ranked teams. Surprise, kids. Iowa doesn't have any points. Penn State does have 10, though. That's a 10-0 game. North Carolina, the fighting Mac Browns, coming out scoring some points tonight, 28-17. They just scored a touchdown, 21-point second quarter for the fighting Mac Browns.
Who they playing tonight?
Dartboard says in the super chat, I'd rather be on probation than lose to Baylor.
There you
go. Dartboard, I'm going to ask you a follow-up question. Would you rather be on like probation? Like you are actually on probation and having to call in and like pee once a month? Or are you saying you'd rather Texas be on probation?
Right. Yeah, that's a good
I'm just curious, like what he means by he would rather be on probation. Are you putting that on Texas? Are you saying I've done probation before, I can do probation, I'd rather be on probation?
Right. Did he mean that in like an ankle monitor standpoint?
You could be on probation without an ankle monitor.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I know this. He didn't volunteer for the ankle monitor.
That's true.
What exactly are you convicting Dartboard of?
Nothing.
You got him on an ankle monitor.
No, I'm so sorry. Dartboard, I'm sorry.
Did he kill someone? Like what? Did he maim? I don't know. I don't know what you've done. Anyway, we're still trying to find out. Dartboard, you don't even have to pay for it.
Yeah.
I just want to know what kind of probation you're talking about.
Darkborg sounds like a monster in a movie I'd really like a sci-fi movie. Darkborg. I'm too soft for the criminal life. Thank you for that other 5. You didn't have to do that, Darkborg.
Says the guy calling himself Darkborg. Darkborg sounds like a machine that murdered somebody.
Yeah.
That RoboCop is trying to catch. By the way, Blake, being the nerd that he is, wants us to know App State 12, Wyoming 7.
Hey.
End of the third quarter, going to the fourth quarter.
Like like I've been telling everybody, like Mac Brown's been telling everybody, don't sleep on App State. All right.
How could you?
My guys couldn't figure them out. Mac's guys barely figured them out twice. So App State will bring it. You need to beat App State. They're not going to lay down for you.
Well, and Wyoming learning that the hard way at this point.
Hey, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something, Catch. Do you think right now there's a more just big boy X's and O's physical football game going on the planet than Wyoming and App State? Like those dudes are getting after it.
It's taking place in South Bend right now.
Okay, that does sound like a pretty
nothing game in the third quarter, and points have been coming at a real premium. Although Ohio State's a drop pass away from being up 14-0 right now, and feeling like they're in total control. Notre Dame driving the best Notre Dame drive of the night so far. It's 9 plays, 54 yards. They're facing a 3rd and 3.
I need to go back obviously later and watch that whole game, but I'm impressed so far. To me, the questions were going to be about Ohio State's offense and can they keep up with Notre Dame. So far, I'm impressed what I'm hearing about Ohio State's defense. If they're keeping Notre Dame shut out so far, that impresses me. Ohio State may be finding their legs tonight because that's impressive. If they're able to beat Notre Dame and keep that score down to nothing or just a little bit, I thought they were going to need up into the 20s, maybe high 20s to win that game.
Let me ask you, what's a better win when this is over with? The win in Tuscaloosa or a win in South Bend? It's Alabama, right?
Right. You're saying the Texas win over Bama or
I'm
Ohio
saying,
State?
Right.
Yeah.
If Ohio State, and look, maybe if Ohio State wins that game by double digits.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Ohio State a little bit, but by a little bit. I think it's going to be that one. Both will be impressive. Both will be the ones they can hang their hat on, but I'll say maybe a little bit more just because of the quarterback issues at Bama. Just because of that part of it, maybe a little more with Ohio State. What do you think?
I think it's Alabama because they're going to be the team that finishes the weekend likely ranked in the top 10. Their win over Ole Miss. Ole Miss will fall back and probably be ranked maybe 20th. I don't think they'll fall far in the polls.
Okay.
I think the Texas win over Alabama right now is the better win. Maybe primarily because Alabama's got the best win between them and Notre Dame. But, if Ohio State holds on, wins this game or wins emphatically, it's absolutely a statement maker for Ohio State. It'll be interesting to see the shape of the polls. Does Oregon really get credit for doing what they did to Colorado? I'm not giving an opinion on that.
Yes.
Like how much credit? Are they close to the top 5?
I'm not. That's going to be the question. I don't know if it's top 5 credit. It certainly would get. They were at 10 right today. It gets them. It needs to get them single digit love. Certainly. The question of how high you maybe 7 to 6 without look. I have to look at the rankings of how everybody does by the end of the day, but that's impressive, man. They crushed them. And say what you want. Well, obviously Colorado didn't deserve to be 19th in the country. Maybe, yeah, but they absolutely dominated them, took them apart, put them back together, threw them against a wall, did anything they wanted to with them. I got to give them the love for that. I don't know if it's top 5 love. I'm going to say like 7, but they need to move up.
Well, because that's the question, right? If we start talking about, by the way, second half getting ready to start, this all.
Here it is.
Boy.
The last half of Texas and Baylor football ever. Please contain your emotions.
Last 30 minutes ever.
You may never go to Waco again. The people you know that went to Waco tonight certainly they'll never go and stay 3.5 hours again. It may be the last time ever.
Oh, you get the tingles?
I mean, shout out to Waco and all your great gas stations and restaurants. That's all that Texas fans will use you for from now on. All right, here's your kickoff. Baylor. Oh, a little pop kick, little short kick, trying to freak Texas out and fumble another one, but they did not do that. Jordan Whittington ended up with the return Texas will still
Jordan
get it at the
didn't go
25.
anywhere fast.
Yeah, Texas will. Oh, sorry, no. Yeah, that was Whittington.
Yeah, it was Whittington.
Yeah, Texas will still get it at the 25. So same type of deal. So Texas starts up 28-6. Let's see what the offense looks like. See if they keep the foot on the gas here. And by the way, thanks to over 300 folks in the Specs chat.
There
Specs
we go.
SpecsOnline.com.
We're way more entertaining than Dusty Dvorak could possibly
gotta
ever
be.
think about being in his entire life.
Got to be. 8 yards per play for Texas, 2.9 for Baylor. That sounds important. The half's going to start with a handoff to Jonathan Brooks. He gets around the edge a little bit for about 3.5 yards around the left
think
side.
one of the stories of the first half, Chad, is Jonathan Brooks 9 carries, CJ Baxter 2.
Mm-hmm.
It is, considering Jonathan Brooks had been discussed, or that CJ Baxter was called the lead back 5 days ago, but today and last week, I mean, maybe Jonathan Brooks is settling in right now, at least for now, as the number 1 guy.
Oh my God, what a catch. Oh,
you know what, Chad? I didn't jinx Jatavion Sanders. I made him mad.
God, I love play calls like that, and I love throws like that, and I love it when a freak makes a great catch like that. Pass up the seam, and Jatavion Sanders went Jerry Rice from my youth. He caught it with only his right hand. He never touched it with his left until he switched the ball. Wow. What a catch by Sanders.
Now that is a one-handed catch. He's up to 5 catches for $110 on 7 targets. And here are the Longhorns. They don't get anything on this first down run to Jonathan Brooks, but Jatavion Sanders has the Longhorns on the cusp of the red zone. And we talked about at halftime, the recipe for getting the backups in, certainly at the quarterback position, get up 42-6, and then the game's over, but then you can start to populate the field and get some young guys some playing time.
Great rhythm, great play design there to set it up with the run and then come right back with it. Now they come back with a run to the right side. Jonathan Brooks, good physical run for another 3.5 to 4 yards to set up whatever they want to do next. Great rhythm right now on this offense. We'll see what they do here on, I'm guessing it's a no, not quite that many. 3rd and 8 coming up here. 5.8 yard average for Jonathan Brooks on 12 carries. And of course the 2 touchdowns, a long one and a short one.
All right, 3rd and 8. This is maybe we'll see where they attack here. I mean, the field shrinks at this point. So you look at Baylor right now, they're not worried about Texas really throwing over the top here. They've got all 11 guys within 11, 12 yards of the ball. Ewers going down the middle, nothing there, no chance.
He was looking for Sanders again, catch. They had Xavier Worthy one-on-one on the right side, but it felt like Ewers was going down the middle again to Sanders. Felt like he was looking at zero the whole time.
So we're going to see a field goal attempt here. And I guess if you're Baylor, that's a win, right?
Absolutely.
Anytime you can force Burt Auburn onto the field in a non-extra point capacity, that's a good thing.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Let's see what he does here with a 37-yard field goal. Not a problem at all. That is through. It's 31-6 Texas. I got to tell you, Catch, that's about the most productivity I've seen out of Auburn today. Hey, salute. Good to see you.
Hey, how about this? Nice job, Baylor defense. Participation award for you guys.
It's well done. It's
on one hand, it's 31-6. But on the other hand, you only gave up 3 points.
Yeah. If you're a greedy Texas fan, I wish that field goal could have been on the front side of the half instead of the back side. But good start to the half. Love the play to Sanders. Just wish it could have ended in a touchdown. But Texas is doing exactly what they need to do right now, Catch. This score, again, if you're around the country just peeking in, you got closer games to watch. You got games that matter a little more in terms of ranked teams playing each other to watch. This game is doing exactly what Texas needs it to do. Just handle that business. And so far they're doing a great job. They've got Baylor in every bit of a stranglehold, and it's just a matter of, just trying to figure out the final score. and figure out how big the
What do
statement
you think
is.
the final score is going to be at this point?
Oh, at
Give
this
me a
point,
prediction.
it kind of, I mean, obviously it depends on how you deal with the personnel, but how about 48-9? How about that?
So 2 more touchdowns and another field goal for Texas and a field goal for Baylor.
There you go. 48-9. There's my weird halfway through the game prediction.
I'm going 52-13.
Okay. I like that.
And with Baylor getting their 13 late in the game.
Yeah, that'd be nice because that would hearken Texas fans back to those days when they were hanging the 60s, the 50s, and 60s on Baylor. That'd be a fun way to go out, the Chance Mock era, 62-0 games. That'd be fun.
Texas fans don't care about this game, but deep down they will feel good if Texas just throws a 50 burger up on Baylor just for old time's sake.
Oh, you're damn right they will. Hey, real quick question while we're in the commercial. Moving forward, a lot of Baylor folk. You grew up in Waco and all that. Moving forward, what's the game you think Baylor cares about the most?
This one? Look, the most important game on the schedule every year when I was a kid growing up rooting for Baylor was the Texas game. And the A&M game was a fairly close second. At that point.
I'm saying, what is it now? What's it going to be next year? What's it in 3 years?
It'll be TCU. One of the things, Baylor and TCU have played each other like 100 times.
Okay.
So they've got, if I'm not mistaken, Texas and Baylor are number 2 all time on the played list for Baylor behind TCU. Okay. And, that game took a little bit of a break, I think, if I'm not mistaken, when they weren't in the conference any longer, but they played a lot over the years. They're literally asking. They're asking the Affleck question.
Slightly different question.
It's the flip of that. Which two teams has Texas played more than Baylor?
Yeah, I think that's pretty simple, right?
Yeah, you'd think, right?
Pretty easy, because I think this year is the year. I want to say this may be the year that the OU game gets to like 118 or 19 right around the Aggies, and then the Aggie game is 118. So it's those two, right? It's Aggies and Sooners.
What an interesting time to bring that question up.
Yeah, right. That's really strange. But there it is. It's at 118 each, because last year is when Oklahoma hit it. Because I'm one of the people that would keep up with 118 because I was so sad that it stopped there. But now it's going to continue. And then Oklahoma now is going to end up being 1 game ahead of the Aggies because they'll go 119 with OU this year and then resume it with A&M next year. So here's Baylor's first possession of the second half. They'll start with a run. That's got to be the most successful run Baylor's had tonight.
The thing is, if you're a Texas defensive player now, and this can hurt you a little bit, you're stat hunting.
Yeah. Well, again, this is back to that focus thing. This is what it's all about to me with defenses. I do not know how defenses keep their edge, keep fired up in moments like this, because they've got to find something to play for. Like, they're just kicking ass all night. So they got to be thinking about, we don't want to give up a touchdown. We're not giving up anything. They just got to keep that focus.
I'm telling you, you're stat hunting. You want the pick 6. You want the strip sack. And sometimes you get that hungry as a defensive player, and you can let little things like drives and completions happen. And, I'm just telling you, it's hard not to think, do your job.
Yep.
It's hard to think, do your job, instead of, I'm about to get on the highlight tape.
Yeah. And when you do it, that's when you can get yourself in trouble.
Exactly.
Baylor taking a shot and hitting the shot. Well, ball into the end zone, covered by Catalan. Is this a catch at all? Or was that incomplete?
It felt very Des Bryant-y to me, but they're going to call it a catch.
They're going to call that a catch down to the 4-yard line. Let's see. There's a catch. Oh, yeah, no, that's definitely a catch. And he goes down.
Good.
Down by contact. Ground can't cause a fumble. Baylor
I would
first
still say kind of Des Bryant-y, though, because he did take steps, but then he doesn't complete the catch towards, he doesn't hold it to the ground.
Right, yeah, but because of Dez and other things, they've made
I'm
it way
a bitter
easy
Cowboys fan, so
Yeah.
And it looks like the Dez play every time.
Yeah, I got you. We will not discuss the Dez play. I don't want to get myself in trouble. So huge pass play there for Baylor, getting him down 1st and goal at the 4. Let's see if Texas defense can hold here for a field goal. That would be big. That would get me the 9 that I predicted earlier. Let's see if they can hold him here. Straight handoff, and it didn't go anywhere. So it's a 3rd down coming up, 3rd and goal.
They still can't. They clearly can throw the ball better on Texas right now than they can run it.
Yeah, and the only successful run they had catch was at the start of this drive, I would say, which was that one around the left side. They got a little bit on the edge. They can't run between the tackles at all. At all. I would not continue that. There's no reason to keep trying it. They have got to creatively run if they're going to run. Let's see what they've got for 3rd and goal. This is a pass for me. I don't know why you'd run the ball here if you're Baylor. You set some kind of pass play up, probably to number 11. Play action. Looking for something. Good pressure from Sorrell.
He's in trouble.
Nice play by Baron Sorrell.
If he doesn't throw that ball out of bounds, he's gonna die.
I'm sure Daddy Sorrell is at the game. Maybe we'll hear from him this week on House Divided, Orangebloods Live, 12-3. But that was a great play by 88. He created that play. He flushed that play out and destroyed it.
Benda's the guy that closes down, though. Like, had he had ideas of delusions of grandeur, Benda would have killed him.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, Benda was ready to close the door. Barron is the one that started.
They were joking about it when the play was over. Like,
yep.
Robertson knew.
They're going on 4th and goal catch.
I mean, they have to.
Throw, picked off. Jalen Ford, interception. Probably should have stayed in the end zone, but either way, interception for Texas.
That guy has a nose. I have to think that NFL teams are going to love Jalen Ford because he can do that.
All right, we'll watch this replay here. Jalen Ford kind of dropping in coverage.
He has such a nose for the ball.
Yeah.
And he just does a great job of like sitting, looked like he was just kind of playing in a little bit of zone there. And, he just read the eyes of Robertson and made the play.
They threw a stat up earlier, Catch, that he has a takeaway in 7 of the last 10 games. So that makes it 8 out of the last 11. Think about that for a second. 8 out of the last 11 games he's played in, that he has had a takeaway. Like, not just hit somebody and made and call. If he'd caused a fumble 8 out of 11 times, that's stupid. He has a takeaway 8 out of 11. That's amazing.
He's really turned into one of the better linebackers that Texas has had in the last quarter century. Like, if we start. Let's let the Brian Jones era be the starting point of when we start thinking about Texas linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
D.D. Lewis, Derek Johnson. And then you're thinking Keenan Robinson. I think he's in that category of player. The Keenan Robinsons, certainly the Jordan Hicks. Malik Jefferson. I think Jalen has risen above Malik. I think he's in the Keenan Robinson, Jordan Hicks. I think he's above when this season is over, we may legitimately, in the last generation of Texas football, be talking about the linebacker position at Texas as Derek Johnson and then Jalen Ford. I don't think that's hyperbole.
No, I think you're right. And by the way, this comes in on the chat. I thought the same thing. Brent says, Ford, don't bring that out. That's what fans think. That's what fans think on a play like that. But when you're the guy, you just got to think, you're Superman at that point. I'm going to make something happen. I'm going to create it, but only getting out to the 5-yard line, that kind of sucks. That's where you wish. See, what you wish there is that the pick would have happened at the back of the end zone. So then he's got about 5 yards to think about it and realize, oh, wait, I can get down, or a teammate can get to him and say, 41, get down. Let's take our yards here. But either way, obviously it's a great play. And catch that long, think about it. 2 most successful plays for Baylor all night, long pass plays. down the right side, would set up a field goal early, and that play was going to set something up, and now done. It's over. Nothing. They get nothing out of that long, long pass play.
Yeah, this game is over. Baylor's just trying, to keep it as competitive as possible where Texas isn't running its backups out onto the field.
All right, so let's have the backup discussion. Do you still need to see 40 points before backups come in?
Probably. It just depends. I mean, how does this quarter unfold? Honestly,
they're backed way up here because Ford brought it out. 9 minutes to go here. Let's see where this, like you said.
I think we just got to see how the quarter goes.
Yeah.
If no Baylor points are scored between now and the fourth quarter, I think there's a very good chance we'll see Murphy come in on the first drive, coming out of the fourth quarter. But let's see how this thing goes. If Baylor.
Wow. That was a great play from Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers, they were setting something up down the field catch. It wasn't there, and he made a split-second decision, just checked down to CJ Baxter, and Baxter went and got the first down. It looks like a really simple.
You are like 15 seconds ahead of me.
And how does that happen?
I don't know.
That's crazy. All right, I give you 15 seconds. That was a great play by Ewers.
You were like, oh, wow. And you started talking about it. And I was like, what's going on here? Yeah, I've got 8:21, 8:20, 8:19.
All right, I'm going to give you 15, and we'll see where I am.
8:15, 8:14. It's 1st and 10. Longhorns now just on the other side of their own 20-yard line. Woo! CJ Baxter got welcomed to college football in the event he hadn't already been welcomed. That served as a bit of a welcome. Where are you at on the clock, Chad?
Let me know when you see 8 minutes.
Oh, I saw 8 minutes.
Oh, never mind. Okay. Sorry.
I'll tell you what the clock is whenever it's 7:45.
Okay.
7:42. 7:38. 2nd and 9. Longhorns at their own 21 after a 1-yard gain by Baxter. Ewers was going to go for the home run ball there, and Baylor was all over him. That was the ball. He was getting ready to heave that thing deep, and Baylor gets another sack, their third of the night. Both teams now with 3 sacks. Number 2, Jones. He's been feisty. He maybe been the one Baylor guy tonight that I can remember seeing a couple of times. Now the Longhorns looking at 3rd and 15.
This is where with a 25-point lead, Sark's tried to take 2 long shots in his head in this drive. Because like you always say, he is always trying to do it. He's going 5 wides here.
Well, Ewers really hasn't gone deep yet. He is now, and he's got him.
Yeah.
Johntay Cook.
All right. I'm excited to see it now.
Wanted some Johntay Cook.
There we go. Come on, Johntay Cook. I'm well behind, as you can tell. Way to go, 2.
He did that for you, South End Zone Queen.
Beautiful. There it is. That's what
By the way, we got
a
super chat question here. Who do y'all think Cannon will be a first-round draft pick on this team? Just in general, like all of the guys? Ewers, Worthy, Mitchell, Cook, Sanders, Banks. They're all on offense right now. Maybe Anthony Hill in a few years. It's very early. I don't think anybody on the defensive line is going that high. Although Tavondre Sweat could be an early second-day guy. I don't want to completely dismiss the possibility of that happen. 1st and 10 for the Longhorns, by the way. Boom. Xavier Worthy, touchdown. Longhorns up now, 37-3. And we may be now very close to Malik Muhammad time.
Nice
Mr.
dance by
Hastings.
Worthy.
Xavier Worthy was like, give me some of that, man. I've been out here blocking. I'm throwing passes. He's like, I'm open all day long.
Nice.
He was wide ass open on that play.
Boy, he's tough to deal with, Catch, especially when you only ask one man to do it and you start him 10 yards down the field going backwards. That was very cautious way to deal with Worthy. That just was not going to work.
The
Great
route,
play.
it felt like the route was already on because we were literally asking at the beginning of the quarter, or not even the beginning of the quarter, after the first little bit of the quarter where we thought the score would finish. Texas is up 32 now. Maybe you give the ones one more, maybe for the work, but I have to believe we are no more than one drive away.
Yeah.
We may be next drive.
It depends on what's in his mind. Does he need to see a certain number, or does he need to see rhythm? If he needs to see rhythm, that was kind of it.
I mean, all of the ones are going to want stats.
Right. I mean,
those guys are going to want to play like, hey, coach, don't take us out before the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I liked a lot of things on these last couple of drives for Texas. Just some patience at moments. Catch, they're doing exactly what we talked about this week. Exactly the ingredients we talked about. And I'll be honest, I'm not the football expert to know how much has Baylor played the 3-3-5, how much have they not. They've been so patient tonight, yet so creative. They've done exactly what I thought Sark needed to do. Everything's felt under control. They certainly haven't forgotten to run the ball. What's that rush number up to? I'm seeing 22 of each. 22 pass attempts, 22 runs. Am I updated correctly? Yeah, that's nice balance for you.
Nice balance.
They are remembering to do all of that. I mean,
Longhorns over 400 yards of offense now. They're up to 294 passing. By the way, if I'm going to hit my prize picks with Ewers, I need Sark to take him out now.
What's he up to again?
Well, he's up to 259.
Yeah.
And I early in the week got him at like 280, and then I got him at like 264. He's very close. By the way, Notre Dame, it's in the fourth quarter. We're going to see a pass interference on Ohio State. Notre Dame, it's a 10-7 game. Just FYI.
There you go,
Notre
Irish.
Dame is about to have the ball in the red zone.
Come on, Irish. Let's get it going here. Yeah, I definitely am going to be looking forward to checking that game out. I thought I could get it to come on my phone, but the stupid NBC thing will not pop up. So I want everybody to know I'm dedicated to this Texas watch along tonight.
Another quick score update. UCF up 24-21 early in the third quarter on Kansas State.
Fun game.
Very interesting game.
Kansas State may not be the team that wins a ton of games, but apparently they are the Big 12's version of the Chargers or Vikings. They're just fun to watch. They're going to get in a one-score game, and you can go to the end with them. Because I loved watching that game with them in Missouri last week. It wasn't beautiful football, but I enjoyed it because it was close all the way through. But, yeah, this Texas offense tonight has looked really, really good. And you know what else, Catch? There's ghosts being dealt with. There's things you talked about, this whole thing about Sark has to bury the 3-3-5 thing, has to get rid of it. You know, he's 3-5 against the defense. If this one will count, it gets into 4 wins. But also, I mentioned it looking up the numbers. All the winning quarterbacks hadn't gotten to 200 yards, and you're telling me Ewers is up to 260? That's impressive.
My goodness. Get you some, young man.
Yeah, you are way ahead of me now.
Trey Wisner, I'm going to let you just enjoy it.
Wow, okay.
Did you enjoy it yet?
Not yet. Kick return and boom! Good Lord. Okay. My goodness.
Yeah, no, he got him some. How am I ahead of you like this?
Don't know. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit and see where we are.
By the way, LSU up 31-24 over Arkansas, just scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
That game's interesting.
It is. LSU woke up there. All right, so what are you seeing on the clock here? Tell me when your clock starts running.
All right, well, I just saw the first play. I'll when the clock continues to run here, 5:24, 5:22. It's stopping at 5:23 right now. 5:21, 5:19.
Okay. All right.
5:17.
Yeah, we're close enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go, oh, and you're not gonna go, what? Who? Somebody
Yeah,
broke your house? What happened? No,
it's not going to be that bad. That's good, though. It's weird, though. The couple times that you got way ahead of me, guys from DeSoto made a play. Johntay
How
Cook,
that happens.
and then Trey Wisner. Yeah, I like that. Both of them. Those are really good guys. I'm glad to see them making plays, even if it's delayed for me. So under 5 minutes here, third quarter on this Baylor drive.
I think we've now reached the point where Baylor's like, let's just get the hell out of here.
Well, now to me, what we've reached the point of for me, Catch, is I'm trying to figure out, how many points Texas can score, which means can this defense continue to throw 3 and outs or 4 and outs? Like right now, it's going to be a third and kind of medium. Sorry, not medium. It's 2. 3rd and 2. Can they get them off the field here, force a punt, and then Sark makes that decision on, do you go backups or do you go one more drive with Ewers? Let's see if they can get them off the field.
No. Baylor's worked
the
very short left and right passing game pretty well tonight.
They had a nice little pass out to the left. So under 4 minutes now in the third quarter. 38-6 Texas. Longhorns in firm control. Certainly big hunks of the country not paying attention to this game in exactly the way the Texas fans don't need them to.
We haven't seen a Texas sack, but we just saw a Texas quarterback hit.
Yeah.
That was nasty.
Good hit. Was that Tap?
That was Jamon Tap.
Yeah.
Playing in place of where we would have seen Christopher Ross. He's now getting those reps in place of Ross and did a little something there. By the way, Notre Dame taking the lead with 8:22 to go in the game.
Come on, Irish.
Irish now up on Ohio State, 13-10 pending the extra point.
It's a good fight.
About to see 3rd and 10. Okay. If Baylor's ever going to run a draw play, now's the time to run it because these Texas defensive linemen are going to be pinning their ears back. They are all thinking, I'm getting this mother, you know what, right now. I promise you. Guys are on the sideline like, Coach, put me in. Sorrell's on the field, Sweat's on the field, Hill's on the field. They all want this play. And it's not. And there's nothing was going to happen on that play. Anthony Hill, by the way, making a nice tackle for loss, forcing a 4th down. He was about to get some. Who was that coming? Oh, Hill was going to. No, Hill went inside of Sorrell, who had the pressure.
Yep.
Trying to set up the screen. And Hill actually came from the other side of the line of scrimmage to make that play. That dude is talented.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a great play by Hill. That's just a freaky good football player being a freaky good football player. That was well seen by Anthony Hill. That's a freshman seeing that play.
Oh, my God.
And another muffed punt.
This time, Jordan Whittington. Once again, catch on the scorecard. Drop pass? Is that how that works? No? No drop passes tonight, kids.
You're sure? Okay, I'll just make sure.
This week, we got to get some dudes that can catch punts, Chad.
Hey, come on. Come on now.
It's not going to be drop passes. It's going to be, we got to get some dudes that can catch some. Can't be turning the ball over on punts. And you know what? That's fair. I love that they brought in Whittington for safety.
Yeah.
I mean, man. You're not putting Jordan Whittington back there because you're trying to go 85 yards on the punt return.
Yeah, that is not good. All right. So now, once again, it serves as a weird. It's like Baylor's offense by itself hasn't been able to test your defense. So now it's twice that your lack of good special teams has tested your defense. They're just inside the red zone. Let's see if Texas defense can once again force a field goal or a 4th down, go for it.
Almost in the exact same space. Last time they turned the ball over, it was like at the 21-yard line. This time at the 19. We're again in this situation that if it gets to a 4th down, and it's within 5, they got to go for it, right? I mean, it's 4th and 9. I guess you take the 3. It's kind of a moot point right now. It's 2nd and 6, so we'll see what happens on this drive. Longhorns still have a lot of starters out on the field.
If I
haven't seen Jalen Catalon, I'm looking for him now. I guess I'll try to pay attention and see. I don't remember him since he made that big hit.
That's a good point. I don't recall seeing him either.
I don't mean to alarm anybody. I'm just saying I just noticed he's not on the field. And I remember somebody made a comment in the chat that he hurt himself on that play. I didn't see that, but maybe I wasn't looking for it. I don't see him like with a helmet on.
Yeah, that's a good point. I've not seen him either. To me, Catch, if I'm Baylor here, unless you really need, if you feel like you need work for your kicker, I would not try a field goal the rest of this game. I don't care what the situation is. I'd go for everything. I'd work on my offense, trying to think forward on because you need Sawyer Robertson reps if he's going to be your guy. I'd go for everything here. I'd go for 4th down. I don't care if it's 4th and 25. I don't care if it's 4th and goal from the 25. I'd still go. This is 2nd and 8 here. Or excuse me, 2nd and 6.
All right. Well, now they're going to have 1st and goal at the 9.
Yeah.
And now you're not kicking field goals anymore. You're probably going for 2 on the back end of this.
Yeah. I mean, couldn't hurt.
I mean, just because it can't hurt.
Yeah. Well, and if you want to do the math on that, that would get you to 24 down, which is 3 full 8s. Yeah. Technically, it is what you do too. The card would tell you to do that because you get down 24, and that's technically 3 drives.
Ooh. Texas said, not on that play.
No. Is that Blackwell? Who's 37? Is that right?
Yeah, that would have been Blackwell. Ford was the guy that jumped off the map for me on that play. By the way, guys, I want to remind you, do us a solid, like the video. What are we at sitting at right now? We're at 162. Come on, people. I feel like we've been at 162 for a while. Get us up over 200. The Longhorns are winning by a whole bunch of points. This should be a game where we get lots of likes. Subscribe to the channel. Get notifications. We'll see what happens here on 2nd and goal. Baylor still trying to run the ball. They went back to this dude. Oh no. I mean, if that's all Baylor has, is this guy? What the hell is his name anyway?
That is
the official stats. What do we call him?
Yeah, that's not
Pendergrass.
That is. Yeah, Pendergrass.
Oh, Pendergrass.
Dawson Pendergrass from Alba, Texas. He's a freshman from Alba. Catch.
Interesting.
That's who he is.
Eddie's kid, I can tell you that. 3rd and goal at the 5. Longhorns have 7 in the box, and they are about to get a sack. 4th sack of the game. This time,
good flush.
Who is that? 90.
Yep.
Byron Murphy getting him another sack.
Murphy hadn't really shown up for a while. He hadn't made a big play in a while, but man, what a night overall for Murphy. Number 90, playing well. Into the third quarter. 38.
I think we've seen the first team offense for the night.
38-6.
Unless Baylor scores here. And I guess, you know what? They would probably bring Ewers out because the ball, if they get a stop here, I think we're going to get one more drive from the first team offense. I don't think they're going to bring the backup into the game if the ball's inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, well, because I think I agree with you. I'd like to see 45 to whatever this is going to be for Baylor, but also, keep the rhythm of your offense going and, get a good. I mean, that last drive was nice, but still maybe a little too much time. But you're going to make it a little bit into the 4th quarter, then give them a rest for the rest of the time. Obviously, tough games coming up. For people that missed it, Kansas won today, beat BYU, and apparently looked pretty good doing it. That's an interesting team next week. That's back at home. By the way, that's a 2:30 kick for Texas and Kansas. So we'll be here with you for the watch along around 2:15. Catch, I'm still holding out hope Texas OU could be a 2:30. What are you hearing? Any 2:30 chances?
I mean, what do you want me to tell you?
I want you to tell me that because I've already seen it's on ABC that there's a better chance for 2:30.
There's a chance.
Come on.
People just the closer that game gets to sundown, people just lose their minds. Oh my God, we can't have it anywhere near nighttime. Like I for both of us, I would like that to be at 2:30, but I'm just not sure that's what we're going to get.
Yeah, I would love for that to happen. We will see, though. But Kansas is a 2:30 for sure for next week. So if the weather kind of stays where it is and this hot, steamy weather sticks around, could be a broiler next week at DKR. So plan for that now. Make sure you got your water next week. Get that all ready to go. 2:30 for Texas and Kansas. What about Notre Dame and Ohio State? Catch, give me an update.
Ohio State driving. We'll see what happens. I mean, at this point, Ohio State's got the ball, I think, on the 20.
Okay.
So it's 2nd and 10. They've got it near the red zone. There was a big pass interference penalty on Notre Dame, but it was near the goal line, but they could only give them 15 yards because it's the college game. Do you like the 15-yard pass interference penalty, or do you like, no matter where it is, spot foul?
My gut has always, even though I'm more of an NFL than a college guy sometimes on things, I kind of like the 15 because it frustrates me watching an NFL game when somebody gets credit for like a 45, 48-yard penalty. It's like, yeah.
But I also hate when a guy would have scored a touchdown on like a 45 or 50-yard pass. And they only get 15.
And they only get 15. I know Chance Mock and I had this same discussion on an Outsider show, and I totally get his point on it. It's just my gut has always been the other way, but I get it. There can be frustration on both sides of that. Because it's like, again.
I think I'm more frustrated when you're cheated on the yards than when it goes the other way.
I guess that's true. Because you do, I mean, I guess in a way, yeah, because at the pro level, you are taking that shot. The play is, you're trying to make the play happen at, let's say, 48 yards. And if there's a penalty at that 48-yard mark, well, you should get the ball there. So that's the way they do it. So I get you.
By the way, it's 4th and 1 with 4:40 left to go. Ball's on the 11-yard line. Looking at a really big play in the Ohio State Notre Dame game. It's 4th and 2 inches. And they are snapping that ball back. Quarterback's coming up to the line of scrimmage. Now he's faking the snap. Are they going to call timeout? We're going to get another game.
Another sack for Texas. Another sack for Texas as that is happening. Big. Man, that was impressive. How about Finkley with a sack?
I don't even know what you're looking at, Chad. Somehow you are now way ahead of me.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. I've not. There's Finkley getting the sack.
I am terribly sorry. I'll pause for a second here.
How did that happen?
I don't know how that happened, but let me know when you see Dave Aranda talking to Luganville.
Now.
Okay. All right. I have no idea. This TV magic is freaking me out. You and I have been ahead, behind.
It's
weird. We're synced up, then we're not. I have no idea.
I've honestly was like, what? Because I was looking at, that's the first time tonight I've legitimately just been confused.
It's so bizarre. You're hitting a little rogue shop. I'm getting on some Pinthouse. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. We're both confused.
It was. I wish I was so high right now that I didn't know what was happening in the game. Instead, it was this weird, I don't know.
What's your clock say? Give me the clock.
Someone earlier today was like, this game might be a game where we see Keelan Robinson make a big play. And it's like, no, it's not. I mean, he might have one now, but they are not using him even as much as they did a year ago. He is the 3rd team running back. Make no mistake about it. And, Notre Dame with a huge play. They're going nuts. They get the stop on 4th down. I'll keep you updated on that, Chad. But Notre Dame now with the ball. Longhorns going to get a first down. Who's in there? Ewers is still in there. They still have the starters.
Yeah. What's your clock say?
14-9, 14-8, 7, 6.
Yeah. Okay.
Are we even?
No.
Where are
No
you
way.
at now?
No, somehow I'm ahead. I am
Hey, how'd you get back ahead? Ewers throwing it deep. Oh, that's going to be pass interference, right? No? Yeah. There's a flag.
Yeah, there's a flag. All right, now I think I'm right about with you. Let's assume.
I'd tell you what the clock was, but it stopped.
You're stopped with 13:50, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're about in the same spot. It's so weird. All right, super chat, Oscar $4.99. Biggest takeaway from the game at the moment, outside of Baylor's fake sellout. Sellout? What?
It was a fake sellout.
What? They reported a sellout?
They claimed early in the week it was a sellout.
Oh yeah, they did. No, you're right. That's a good call. Good call, Oscar. Biggest takeaway: Texas looking good. That's my takeaway.
Yeah.
Texas looking good and solidifying a number 3 ranking. How about that?
It won't fall this week.
No, you shouldn't. Why would you? There's no way. Not now. Not with what we saw at Clemson today and this one. That's the two. USC would have to beat whatever it is. Who are they playing tonight? They're playing Cal tonight, I think.
Yeah.
Or Washington's playing Cal and they're playing Arizona. So whoever it is, they're playing late. They'd have to beat them 58-0, 66-0.
All right. So all of these starters want to get theirs.
Yeah.
They're all dying because they know there's limited reps. Let me tell you what, all those dudes are so mad that Gunnar Helm just got that ball.
I love this play catch. Give him some motion.
It's a great play. I think Jadavion Sanders wants that play.
Motion. Make the motion look like it's going left.
It's a great job by Christian Jones to get out there in space.
That's great.
And open that up for him. Really nice block by Christian Jones.
That's great. Nice meat and potatoes football play disguised in a fancier football play. It's well done.
For those that might have missed it, that was like a 20-yard gain. Ball's now on the Baylor 31. Get a little CJ Baxter action here. Short run. They all realize there's only a handful of offensive plays left. Worthy once in the game. He's begging for the ball, although he got his 6. Whittington's got to be the guy who's like, come on, man, give me a crumb. Can I get in the end zone one time?
Yeah. Man.
Ooh, that's good running.
I'm going to tell you what. If I'm Sark, catch, I keep calling CJ Baxter this team's lead back. If this is what it's going to do to Jonathan Brooks.
No doubt.
I mean, if this is the way 24 is going to respond, take his locker away, make him,
I'm definitely calling CJ Baxter my lead back on Monday.
Take his lunch away. Make his lunch lesser than the other guys. Like, just do whatever you need to, man. 24 is out of his mind tonight.
That officially has him over 100 yards.
Nice.
17
there it
carries
is.
for a $107. Already has 2 touchdowns. Are they just going to mash this in?
They're going to get him his 3rd one here.
He's a yard away from it.
Damn near. Those will set up a 2nd and goal coming.
Oh, it's a Gunnar Helm.
1 foot line. Play action, Gunnar Helm. I like a little.
I'm telling you, all of the receivers. Whittington's dying for a pass here.
Yep.
And he might get it on 3rd down. Baylor gets the stuff. It's now 3rd and goal at the 2. Jordan Whittington's begging for a ball here, Chad. He's begging.
And you know what Sark tells him? Catch a punt. No, I'm just trying.
They're calling him off the field because of that. You're not getting a touchdown on this. No.
No. That's not how this works. We're going to reward Jay Brooks tonight.
And they should.
Yeah, we're going to run this thing until 24 is in the end zone.
You know what, Chad? They're all waving guys off. No.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, come on. No. Worthy's like, come on. Okay, I'm staying in.
I'm in.
Goal.
I'm still
Somehow
in.
There's still 20 seconds left on the play clock.
Oh, man.
They got a bunch formation to the left. Sanders in motion. Pitch to Brooks. It's not going to get in. If you're Sark, you got to go for it here. Make them eat a shit sandwich tonight, Chad. It's the last time you're ever playing these rape enabling
here we go.
trash
Here we
Baylor
go.
Bears.
Here we go. This is, if there weren't 10 minutes on the clock, I might disagree with you, but I agree with you at this point. They got to go.
They're going for it on 4th and 3. Because who cares if 41 means nothing? It's about shoving a touchdown in their throat.
45 looks a lot better. I agree with you. Oh, no, you don't need an administrative
penalty. I'm still going for it, Chad.
Not an administrative penalty.
The delay of game. We got to fire Quinn Ewers.
Look at Sark.
He's so mad. Don't kick, Sark.
Sark, come on. Stay with it. Stay with it, Sark. He's folded his arms. I think he's kicking. He's going to Bert Auburn.
Fake field goal.
Fake field goal.
Field goal.
Who's the holder? Fake it, run.
Not with that guy.
No, not with that guy. Probably not going to work. He missed it.
Upright. That's why you go for it.
Upright, and it was down.
Bert,
really pissed.
Come on, Bert.
You know what? At this point, that's going to prolong any Maalik Murphy discussions, and it really makes it tough on Arch Manning to get in tonight.
Yeah,
because now you're.
Look, the thing is, you score there, you can pull. I think if you're Sark, you pull the starters and you say, "This is what happens when you don't punch it in."
Yep.
Punch it in next time.
That's it.
Because I think it really is kind of important to get Maalik Murphy some snaps. So.
No, I do too.
Baylor ain't coming back. We're in the 4th quarter. Too damn bad for the starters that they didn't get this thing to 45.
Yeah. Hey, Catch, while we're in this break, let me add a little Pinthouse info for the people.
Do.
For the people that are into their Monday night football, check this out. It's new this NFL year. Every Monday during September, so you got one more chance at this, Pinthouse is hooking you up with a combo deal from 7 to close. Check this out. You get a pint and a Texas Wagyu smash burger or a pint and the mouth-watering buffalo wings, and you enjoy $5 off your order. Come watch the Monday night game, or now it's been games. There's 2 more coming up this Monday night on any of those screens. Take advantage of the great deal. It is only available at the Ben White location. I still need to get over to the Ben White location and check it out, but their Monday night bites is going on over at Pinthouse. Plus, check it out right there, the loyalty program. Scan that QR code to find out more about the loyalty program, or just simply scan the code for that incredible menu and to make your order something to go pick up. Look at the beautiful thing there. Look at that Sunday brunch. Looks incredible. I'm with Catch. Just let me find out about that burger. What's going on with that burger? It looks incredible. They are right there on Ben White. That's where the Sunday brunch happens. That's where the Monday bites are happening. And then remember, at any Pinthouse location, you get $2 off your is that right? Hang on. What is it? What is my thing, Blake? Hang on. Hold on. $2 off on college $2 off pints for Texas games if you wear your gear, $4 off pitchers for your NFL Sunday action, and that's at any Pinthouse location. So shout out to Pinthouse. I'm almost done with my Scorpion Disco. It is good. It's not on the fruitier IPA side. It's more on that earthier IPA side. So if you're one of those that you're not as much into the fruity stuff, you're into a little bit more of that, other side of the IPAs, check it out. There's some incredible beer. Every one I try at Pinthouse becomes my new favorite beer. Go check it out. Our man Buck Wild Longhorn has jumped in. Damn Big 12 goalposts. There it is. Yeah. They might have put in the weird goalpost.
The only thing.
Yeah.
By the way, Baylor's gone to their backup quarterback. So.
Okay. Probably about time.
If they go to their backup quarterback, you're kind of obligated to go to yours.
Yeah, that's fair. Super chat from Blake, $5. Can we hit the portal for a kicker? Oh, good grief. Luckily, this kick doesn't matter, but he's missed valuable kicks. He missed one against Bama 2 years in a row. Are you experiencing any Burt Auburn nervousness, Jeff Ketchum?
Hadn't crossed my mind.
All right.
he's not going to win the Lou Groza Award, but he's okay.
So, by the way, RJ Martinez is the guy that replaces Robertson. So, shout out to the Austin area product. He's a Westwood Warrior.
There you go.
He is in the game.
I wonder if he went to Grisham, because I'm an old Grisham Grizzly who went to McCallum between 8th and 9th grades. Otherwise, I also would have went to Westwood.
There you go. There you go. Westwood High School, over 9,200 total yards and 95 total touchdowns. Is that any good? Versus Cedar Ridge, 788 total yards and 10 touchdowns.
Telling you what, man, these dudes want some stats. Everybody wants them.
Hey, it's only right that another Austin prospect, Charles Wright, gets into the game at this point, right?
Yeah, that's true, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Blake.
Gotta go head up. Hey,
Maybe,
by the way,
is he going to hold an extra point on the next drive? How are we getting Charles Wright into the game?
Yeah, that's true. Hey, Catch, I don't know what the record was. They just threw it up on the screen. He tied some kind of Kyler Murray high school record. If you do that, you definitely are doing something in high school football. So shout out to Martinez for that too. We are now about 8.5 to go. Not even halfway through the fourth quarter. So if you're right, Catch, and Sark will use this opportunity as, Baylor calls off the dogs.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what uh-oh is. Now I'm way behind somehow.
Pendergrass got himself to midfield.
Okay. I'm going to take your word for it.
I got
there he is.
How did this happen?
I don't know. I'm just going to fast forward a little bit, see what happens.
It's first and 10. Longhorns, it's incomplete pass. It's going to set up 2nd and 10. Don't worry, Baylor's only at their own 45-yard line. I may have overreacted to Pendergrass gaining 20 yards.
All right, fair enough.
They've got 38 rushing yards tonight, Chad.
Oof, that does not sound good.
203 passing, which is more than I thought they would throw, which means I'm likely to have missed on that prize picks as well.
And that's a little more passing yards there.
Been that kind of night. You're now ahead of me because I did not see that until after you did. You're right. Longhorns do have their backups on defense. That was a completed pass on Maalik Muhammad in coverage on that play. Didn't have bad coverage. Nice catch by the Baylor receiver. By the way, minute 22 left in this Ohio State-Notre Dame game. Ohio State has the ball.
Oof. Okay.
It's too early to say they're driving.
Let me know when the next snap. Let me know when the next snap happens for Baylor.
Just happened.
Okay.
It's a completed pass.
There you go. Now we're back.
Muhammad with the stop. Looks like they're trying to get some action on Maalik Muhammad. Yes, Maalik Muhammad. I got my it's bad. I mentioned earlier it's hard having two running backs with B's as their starting letter in their names, but to have an MM and MM for Maalik is, that was a little.
Yeah, you're getting your Malik's crossed. There's nothing wrong with that.
It looks like Baylor may get a cheapy touchdown on this drive. The backups are in. Yeah. Baylor's, for the first time, it's coinciding with the backups being in the game, but Baylor's got a rhythm on offense right now.
Yeah, they do.
And now Ohio State is officially driving. They've got the ball into Notre Dame territory.
What's that score again?
Was almost a pick by Maalik. Muhammad. Not quite. It's 14-10 Notre Dame. So Ohio State's got to get into the end zone.
How much time?
101. Plenty of time. They got one timeout left. They got 101 on the clock. Time shouldn't be an issue. They're on the Notre Dame 42. So
all right.
They don't have all the time in the world to work with, but time I don't think is going to be an issue in this game. Converting is going to be the issue.
Yeah, that's good drama because they need a touchdown.
By the way, that's like the 19th time in this drive that Baylor has thrown the ball at Maalik Muhammad. That ball also completed. Sets up what is going to be a 3rd and 5 officially from the Texas 20, 5:52 remaining. And we're going to see a 4th down play because that wasn't completed.
That's
Who knows?
ugly.
These young buccos might get a stop yet.
That was a little ugly. All right, so my 9 prediction for Baylor may happen here if they get this field goal, or if they go for it and just don't
Can't
get
kick a field goal here.
Nah, you got to go here, right? Yeah.
And it's
No,
only 4th and 5.
Yeah, that's what I said. If you drive, I'd go even if it was 4th and 50. Like, who cares? Just go. There's no need. You got to work on your offense a little bit. Now, with this backup quarterback, maybe you know, but who knows? Maybe Aranda's thinking about playing.
And they didn't convert because Maalik Muhammad said, "Not on my watch."
How about that? Maalik said, "You do not throw at me 5 times.
I'm gonna get you on the 6th.
I'm gonna get you somewhere. You keep throwing at me, I'm gonna get you."
Oh, so now here, Chad, they've gone to commercial, which means one of us might miss a touchdown on the way back.
When we come back, you might be 5 minutes ahead of me. Who knows?
Let's do this. Let's take a 15-second timeout to let everybody know about the good people over at Specs.
No matter what you're needing, Specs same-day delivery can save the day with our Specs app or online shopping. From world-class wines to hard-to-find spirits and craft beers to gourmet foods, delicious snacks, and spectacular sweets. It's Specs. Cheers to savings.
Beautiful. Love her. Love Specs. And she's right. Hard to find craft spirits, all that stuff. Wine, spirits, finer foods. That's what I love about Specs. And to give Pinthouse some love, I've seen that Pinthouse electric jellyfish, those 4-packs, beautiful 4-packs of jellyfish. I've seen that at my local Specs recently. I've picked that up at Specs before. You can do that for your NFL action coming up for next week. Get ready. Maybe you're not going to DKR for Texas, Kansas. Get it all stocked up. SpecsOnline.com. You can get it delivered. All that good stuff.
By the way, Jonathan Brooks likely going to finish the night with 106 yards on 18 carries. We were, again, I think I mentioned this earlier. We were asked what we think the story of the game might be. If there is one beyond just Texas hammering Baylor on the last time in the rivalry, I think it might be him taking the lead taking a lead in the running back job tonight. At one point in the third quarter, he had 13 carries to CJ Baxter's 4. And that was midway through the third quarter. So 3 times as many carries. He finishes with 18. Baxter may get a few now, but has 6 so far in the game. So it's a 3-1 margin. By the way, Ohio State converting on 4th and 7.
Oof.
24 seconds left in the game. 4th and 7. They threw the ball short, and he got it by half a yard. Now the ball's at the 32. Ohio State still has a timeout. Almost intercepted. This close. I'm telling you what, if they lose that game, very Blake Gideon-ish.
Oh, no.
I mean, it wasn't. Yeah, it was. That was Blake Gideon-ish. You got to catch that ball. It hits both hands. I mean,
not good.
He's going to have, whether they win the game or not, that Notre Dame DB will have nightmares. By the way, I'm watching Jonathan Brooks on my screen, Chad. They're showing highlights.
Yeah. No, they're calling him.
Sure that, CJ Baxter scoring. Are we even?
Yes, I just saw Brooks go in for the second touchdown.
Okay, we're good. I just,
entering. Yeah, they're showing him on the sideline now.
Yes, and the stat that ABC's putting up: Texas in the first 3 games of the season, 3 touchdowns rushing. Tonight, 4.
There's a lot of Jaden Blue with a carry here on this next drive, and Maalik Murphy's in the game.
But it looks like a lot of the starting offensive linemen also. Well, I see Campbell in the game, so they're still running him at right tackle. But it looks like a lot of backups are in here. Throw the ball, Sark. Get him some reps.
Yeah, let's see. I was about to say, let's see if they want him to throw a little bit, or is he just going to hand it off?
2nd and 2. Right now, we're just getting a steady dose of Jaden Blue handoffs. But by the way, 2nd and 10, 20. Oh, Notre Dame had a sack. Wasn't able to bring him down.
Oh,
they're so close to winning this game, Chad.
Come on, Irish.
There's 15 seconds left. It's 3rd and 10. They really only got time for 2 plays left anyway. Longhorns still running the ball to Blue.
Yeah.
Nowhere this time. It's going to set up a 2nd and 10. Might we see? Thing is, Johntay Cook already got his pass.
Yes.
So it's not like they need to get Cook a throw, but they need to get Maalik Murphy a throw. I mean, really, don't just hand the ball off to Savion Red here because it's 2nd and 10. Let's see these receivers. Let's let Maalik throw the ball. Free Maalik.
Free Maalik. Yeah, that's that old thing about you're trying to get your guy reps, but then does it look good if you're passing? And
who cares? They're going to keep on. Well, I tell you what. Savion Red.
Yeah.
Just ruined it for Maalik Murphy. Because if he gets tackled and it's 3rd and 12, you're going to maybe let Maalik throw it, but now it's 3rd and medium. And, you're just going to see them run the ball here. It's very boring. By the way, once you get to a point where there's very little time left, I mean, if you're a Notre Dame defender, it's like tackle the receiver for a penalty if you have to. Boy, they almost had a sack on that play.
We got a super chat here, $9.99. We'll get to it in a second. We'll see what
we got a throw. Was it not a good throw?
Nah, a little bit low there.
That's why you have to let that guy have a throw.
$9.99 from AP. Hell of a win, gentlemen, and hook 'em, Chad. You're my all-time favorite Aggie. I appreciate that. I absolutely love the watch along. Love you both. I'm out. All right, AP. We'll give you a little pound there. Have a good night. Take care of yourself. Get home safely if you're not near home, or just pass out if you are. Punt coming for Texas. I think the starting punter is still in, just for everybody's knowledge. I'm not sure if that was a backup. I think that was the starting punter. I think so. Yeah, it was the starting punter. Starting punter still in the game. 38-6, 3 minutes to go.
Oh!
Okay. Texas with a lead.
Ohio
What is the
State
catch?
is out of timeouts. They just completed a ball to the 1-yard line. It's 1st and goal at the 1. They spike it. It's first. Now it's going to be 2nd and goal with 7 seconds left.
Okay.
They've got no timeouts. They're on the Notre Dame 1-yard line.
Wow.
And I don't know why you don't just maul that guy. I guess you're risking a spot foul, but it was longer. It would have been, I think, half the distance of the goal because they were throwing from the 20 and it happened at the 1, so you can't get a 19-yard penalty. We'll see what happens here. We're going to get Notre Dame's final timeout of the game.
Yeah, part of me is really pissed that I can't get my phone to show me this game, but the other part of me that doesn't want Ohio State to win just wants you to tell me. So I'm just going to let you tell me what happens. You're going to be my play-by-play guy. It's like I'm a kid and you're Dave South. No, wait a minute. I need higher quality than that. It's like I'm a baseball fan in the 70s and you're Vin Scully. That's what I need you to do for me. I need you to tell me what happens when it happens. Texas is up 38-6. Just trying to figure out what the final score is of this one. Somebody texted in our man Sandman.
Oh, God.
Earlier. Let Maalik Cook.
Okay. Hey, okay.
There you go.
You said his name. I feared for the worst.
Yeah, let Maalik Cook. No, wasn't anything about me. Wasn't anything about me. Although Eric did jump in. Eric picking up the slack. Chad looks a little sheepish after the compliment. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you there. Well done. Well played. Well played.
Incomplete. There's 3 seconds left to go. So
Okay,
here's the thing. If you're Ohio State now, you're at the 1-yard line. There's time for one more play. There are no timeouts, but everything's on the table.
Come on, Notre Dame.
Run the ball now.
For the first time in my life, I'll say, come on, Notre Dame. I must really hate Ohio State.
You must, because
this is
when
rare.
Forced to pick right now.
I know. The whole day I've said it. I've felt it all day. I
They've got 2 receivers split out wide right. That jumbo formation, they're running it. and he
Come on,
scored.
Domers, what?
Ohio State wins 16-14 on a 1-yard run as time expires.
Come on. That's not right.
They went 15 plays, 65 yards in a $126.
Dang. That sucks. By the way, LSU hit a field goal to win 34-31 in the Boot Bowl. Last second kick in Baton Rouge. Dadgummit.
By the way, if you're Quinn Ewers, you get to finish your career with a 2-0 starting record against the Bears.
You think that'll be important to him?
No, but you didn't ever lose, and you don't ever have to have anybody throw that in your face, ever.
It's true.
You always, like, the Baylor conversation for the rest of your life is insignificant.
There you go.
I went 2-0 against them.
You got bragging rights in Waco. Not that you'll ever go, but, you know.
But it's the alternative is,
oh, sure.
We knocked you off when you were ranked third. You have to, eat the random Baylor player that you see in the NFLs constantly throw. Nah. You're a gnat on my windshield.
Yeah, trust me, there's not many random Baylor players mouthing off tonight. They got absolutely smashed in this game. And honestly, Texas didn't do every little thing they could have done. There's a couple little things, obviously, to tighten up, fielding punts and little things and finishing a couple drives. I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been. But the bludgeoning run game, Ewers looks good. All kinds of receivers catching balls. Nice pass down the field for Baylor here.
You're ahead
up to midfield. Again. A little under 2 minutes to go.
I think you're ahead of me by about 10 seconds. I haven't even seen the ball snapped yet, Chad. All right, here we go.
What is going on?
It's so bizarre. You're right. That was a nice play.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? They moved Maalik Murphy to the other side of the field, and they're still throwing at him.
Tell me when you see Quinn Ewers on the sidelines.
Oh, my God, Chad. I'm looking at this Ohio State touchdown run.
Yeah.
He gets that ball over unbelievable. Baylor, by the way, scrambling with 1:30 to go. They're driving, ball down to the 43. I got 126, 125, 123. It doesn't really matter at this point, but
yeah, you can go ahead. You go right ahead.
115.
Okay.
Sark's on the sideline. He just took his headset off. He's done. He's ready for this to be over with. Yeah. I don't blame him. This game's been over for a while.
Yeah, really impressive. Really impressive performance, and the kind of win that the nation's going to need to see. Check the box. Stay at number 3.
By the way, I thought Jatavion Sanders tonight looked like a first-team All-America kind of player.
Yep. Agreed. I am the president of the fan club, but yes, they did the things they needed to do with him. What am I seeing here? 5 for 110. Good grief. That's silly.
And that's 5 for 110 in a game where they shut it off.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Where they didn't it was like a Usain Bolt prelim.
It really was. That's a great way to put it.
Right. Where the last 20 yards or meters or whatever you want to call it, he just got to coast. I mean, you didn't even
nice. Gavin Holmes. First time I can remember. First time they've thrown at Gavin Holmes instead of Maalik Murphy.
Yeah. Yeah. Just really impressive performance tonight, doing exactly what they needed to do. I would, at this point, we'll see how it finishes, but I'll probably need to make a public apology to the Texas defense for insinuating that Baylor could score 17 points in this game in my prediction. I'm so sorry.
We talked about it all week long. I just didn't see how it was even possible.
Yep. No, you were right. There's a lot of fun. Now, I guess that there were predictions of Texas rather up into the into the 40s. Some people I know had them up in the 50s. So maybe those people might be a little disappointed in that. But man, they've done everything they wanted to do, save just a couple little nuts and bolts. But great start to conference play, keeping the rhythm going.
If you're the Texas defense, you'd like to have turned them over a couple of times. Not a lot to nitpick in this game, but you would have liked to have seen them get not necessarily like a pick six. You'd have liked to have seen that, but more than anything, I think you'd like to have turned them over.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. Texas defense would obviously like to stop him from getting in the end zone here. I know there were a lot of people I heard this week with a something to 13 prediction. They're hoping they're not right. 17 seconds to go. Baylor with a second down play coming up. Backup quarterback in. Martinez, kid from Westwood's been in for 2 or 3 drives now. Looking all right. 8 of 15, 92 yards so far.
By the way, Baylor looking at 17 seconds to go. They're at the Texas 13-yard line. Keep waiting for one of these Texas corners to sit on one of these short throws.
Yeah, that would be nice. Ending the game with a nice long pick six. By the way, did you see the beginning of Utah-UCLA today? That pick six on play 1? Utah had a short pick six to start the game, and then they won it by 7. It was an interesting detail in that one.
Holy crap.
Uh-oh.
I just lost my article on Orangebloods.
Uh-oh.
Like I literally, holy shit, my entire post-game article just disappeared. There it is. Holy crap. Thank you. What got, but like it's all gone.
What? No. It can't be gone. It's got to be there.
I don't understand. Everything that I wrote is gone.
Oh, no. Come on, man. That's not good.
I was literally getting ready to hit submit.
2 seconds to go. 2nd and goal for Baylor. So it's the last play of the game, one way or the other, and it's not a touchdown. It is a drop.
How did that just happen?
I don't know.
I literally just lost. I've been typing the entire fourth quarter. How did that just happen?
I don't know.
I went to freaking pin the thread and it like flashed and it just.
That's
all right.
not good.
My wife's yelling at dogs. I'm literally about to curse.
Yeah, you got to get over to the post-game show as well, correct?
All right, let's wrap this up. Say goodbye. Let
Okay.
everybody know about Pinthouse real quick, and I'm just fucking fuming.
All right, almost 300 folks. We thank you. A lot of good folks in the Specs chat tonight. Thanks to Specs for the chat. Thanks to Pinthouse. Check out that Sunday brunch and the Monday Bites specials. And again, that is only at the Ben White location, and tomorrow for the NFL at all Pinthouse locations, $4 off your pitchers for NFL action. Thanks to Blake, the super producer, for getting it done. Thanks to all of you on the Specs chat. We'll do a watch along next week for Texas and Kansas, 2:15 for that 2:30 kick. Don't leave Orangebloods live. Stick around for Catch, Sukamel, and Anwar Richardson in Waco. Wrapping it all up. Texas beats Baylor 38-6, and they look damn good doing it. We will see you next week. Take care. Longhorns win. They're 4-0.